Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest winter storm coverage. This will likely be the last winter storm coverage that we have in at least this winter until the next winter, which is later obviously this year. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, including a lot of snow that is currently falling, big travel impacts happening across several different states, and we are expecting the snow to amplify and move further to the east over the next several hours. I do want to start though by going right over to Brandon Kopic, who is currently pushing a vehicle out of the snow right now. There are a lot of people getting stuck right now, and this is a live view right now. It looks like Brandon Kopic, I think Corey Gerton, and as well as Vince, that were just helping this Dodge car get unstuck from a ditch. And this has been a very common scene today across areas in the Central Plains. We've had so much snow falling. We have had ice also accumulating. It's very slick out there, and unfortunately areas like Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas don't necessarily have plows that are able to plow every single road. So in addition to that, in this particular area, which is extreme southern Missouri, there are a lot more hills, a lot more mountains, and it makes it even more difficult to travel out there. So obviously, if you are any intentions of traveling today, I highly recommend to not travel if you are across Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, or even back into Kansas, and even parts of North Texas, where we are anticipating some ice accumulation in addition to some significant snowfall accumulation over the next several hours. But looks like right now they're just trying to get this car unstuck, and actually looks like there's a police officer there as well. And they may have actually closed off this road. It's hard to tell because there are a few other vehicles up there with flashing lights. But again, this is Brandon Kopic, both on YouTube and also in the Radar Omega app. He was just helping get this car unstuck. This has been, again, a very common scene today across the Central Plains. And we'll see if this car can get out of here. Obviously, you can even see it. It is sliding quite a bit. It's trying to go around where it just was. And it looks like Brandon will follow right behind. We'll probably have a view of it here again in just a second. Maybe.
I'm waiting for him to hit the brakes and slide.
Alright, maybe not. Oh, you can actually see it, unless that's a different car. All right, it looks like it got unstuck, so that's good news. Obviously, we'll keep a close eye on Brandon and all the other different storm chasers that are out there here today. We have 3 different storm chasers, bottom of your screen. These are the 3 main ones we'll have here throughout this entire live stream. Connor Croft, Corey Gerken, and as well as Brandon Kopic, who are all located in far northwestern Arkansas or southern Missouri, where some of the heaviest snowfall is falling. We are also starting to see some blizzard-like conditions in these areas as winds are picking up. That is really going to start in areas like Joplin, Missouri within the next hour, as winds will start to increase in addition to the snow becoming heavier, which is going to end up leading to some blowing snow. All right, let's go to the radar and tell you what's happening out there right now. So this is what it looks like across southwestern Missouri. This is one of the areas that is dealing with the most significant impacts across the board. We have moderate to heavy snowfall across many areas in southwestern Missouri, back into northwestern Arkansas and southeast Kansas. And once again, our blizzard-like conditions are ramping up back over in Kansas right now, but mostly back over in extreme southeastern Kansas. This is live back over in Burlington, Kansas on the Radar Omega Cyclone Port. And notice that the snow again is continuing to, fall here. We've already had several inches of snow back over in eastern Kansas. We have our heaviest bands of snowfall either right along the Arkansas and Missouri border or back up here just south of Kansas City. Now, a lot of the snow is fluffy, so it is stacking up very quickly. The temperatures are very low right now. We have temperatures in the teens and single digits, basically anywhere where snow is falling right now in Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma and Arkansas. So this is going to stack up very quickly over the next several hours. We've had tons of problems across Oklahoma over the last several hours as well, with freezing rain that continues to move east. It's much lighter now, but any freezing rain that we've seen is going to lead to significant travel impacts. And the main reason why is because, again, there's not really much stuff to treat the roads out here across Oklahoma, Arkansas, or even Missouri. So definitely a lot of problems out there. We've had dozens of car accidents across Oklahoma that have been reported this morning, and even some that have happened this afternoon. And again, many cars are getting stuck, and you'll be seeing that many times, I think, throughout this entire live stream. And it may have just happened again. Let's go to Brandon real quick before I go through the forecast. I think somebody else may have gotten stuck. Go to Brandon. Or maybe not. That's a police officer. Oh, 2 different police officers. They might be closing roads. So currently, Brandon Kopic, he's back over in Branson, Missouri. And so it appears as if they might be, oh, maybe that's just a car that's stuck, but they might be closing off roads because of all the different cars that continue to get stuck. Right, or bottom right of your screen, the middle of your screen, those green circles, that is where they are currently located. Looks like another car is stuck. Unfortunately, and I mentioned this before, if you're just tuning in, this area in southwestern Missouri and northern Arkansas, there's a lot of hills. I mean, even the slightest bit of a slope is going to cause problems for cars to be moving, and this car is definitely stuck. And they got their umbrella out in the snow. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody have an umbrella out in the snow before. I feel like that's only for rain. I'm kind of confused by the umbrella. It's not like there's sleet pellets coming out of the sky. This person came prepared today with an umbrella. I've never seen somebody have an umbrella out in the snow before. This is the first that I've ever seen this happen. All right, they're pushing that car. She's staying warm with the umbrella just off to the side of the road. The snow umbrella. We might have to start some sort of like merch thing with snow umbrellas. It looks like they were able to move the car. Snowbrella is coming to a store near you. All right, well, that's, again, now the second car. We're only 6 minutes into the live stream. That is now the second car that we've already seen get unstuck here, traveling on the roadways in southern Missouri. But back to live radar again. We got a lot of snow falling across Missouri. This is beginning to move into the Tennessee Valley. It is a lot lighter, and there's also a lot of dry air currently across areas in the Mississippi River Valley. So overall, for the next couple of hours, I wouldn't really anticipate much snow to actually reach the ground back over here. If we go to a live shot back over in southeast Missouri, we are actually beginning to now see a few snowflakes come down. We should start to see this intensify again as we go later into the evening hours, but nonetheless, again, snow is coming. We're only about a few hours away from some of the heaviest snow falling in southeast Missouri and then eventually moving into Tennessee. I also want to show you guys this. This is back over on I-44 just to the west of Springfield. We've had a lot of different accidents that have been happening, and right now I'm pretty sure there are some areas on I-44 that are closed in southwest Missouri. This is one of the Missouri dot cameras back over just west again of Springfield on I-44 heading towards Kansas, and notice that there is a truck that is just stuck in the middle of the roadway here. Again, very common sight today with a lot of roads not really treated. Even the ones that are, it's still very slick out there. And so this is going to be a continuing problem. That truck is going fast, in my opinion. But nonetheless, again, this is going to be a continuing problem, I think, throughout the rest of today into early tomorrow morning as well, with a lot of ice and snow out there. Again, I would not recommend traveling today. Just have your, slippers, your comfortable pajamas. Just stay inside, have the fireplace on. There's really no reason to go out today unless it's an emergency, especially with how we've already seen things go here back over even in southwestern Missouri, where there are plenty of problems. I mean, this is going to be, again, a continuing problem throughout the daytime today and as well as into tonight. And obviously, nighttime will not make it much better with it being dark outside, but yeah, definitely going to be a problem. All right, let's go back over to live radar again. This is what it looks like out there right now. Let's go through the future radar and give you an idea of what's going to be happening for the next several hours. We'll also go into some of the snowfall accumulation totals and what you can expect there. But this is what it looks like right around 3 o'clock, which is now. Notice how we have snow falling across most of southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and as well as back through Tulsa, Oklahoma. Freezing rain and sleet falling across even North Texas now, back through Oklahoma, and also into Little Rock, Arkansas. One thing I do want to point out is that some people are not aware of this, but there will be freezing rain even into North Texas tonight, which is going to cause major problems, I think, on the roadways. It's going to be very brief, and it's also going to be light, but even the lightest bit of freezing rain could cause some major travel impacts across a very populated area there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I was going to go through the forecast. I don't know what's going on here. Let's go to Corey real quick. Corey Gherkin has come up on a boat. I'm not sure if that was just parked there. Okay, that might have just been parked there. I thought somebody with a boat just got stuck. We'll double check once he backs up. Just want to make sure. Okay, I think it was just a parked. It was just a parked trailer. All right, all right. I thought somebody with a boat just got stuck. That would have been crazy. All right, back to the future radar though. Again, as we get closer to 5 to 6 o'clock, that heavy snow will be primarily focused across areas like Tulsa, Oklahoma, back into southern Missouri, and also across northern Arkansas. Light to moderate snowfall will begin in the next couple of hours back over along the Mississippi River Valley. Eventually, by around 7 to 8 o'clock tonight, that snow continues to spread across Kentucky and Tennessee. Areas like Kentucky do not need more liquid precipitation of any kind, so this is definitely something that we do not need back over in Kentucky with all the flooding that we've had recently. By 10 o'clock tonight, we're dealing with a lot of different stuff, including a low risk for severe weather. You might notice just below me, there is a risk of severe weather today. We do have a marginal threat along the Gulf Coast for damaging winds and an isolated tornado. I don't really think we'll be live covering really that aspect unless something really gets crazy, but there is a low risk back along the Gulf Coast. Freezing rain and sleet falling across North Texas. Again, very isolated in North Texas, but it's still going to cause problems just south of Little Rock and then also back through Memphis, Tennessee. After midnight tonight, that sleet and freezing rain continues to track east into Mississippi, northern Louisiana. Snow is falling across most of the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. Areas like Nashville and Jackson, Tennessee will be picking up some heavier snowfall, and then eventually into the overnight hours, that snow continues to track towards the mountainous regions over in the Appalachian Mountains. And then by the time we go into tomorrow morning, you might be thinking we are done with this winter storm, but we actually aren't. We're going to have even more significant snowfall and ice accumulation from a cold air damming event that's going to be happening back over near Raleigh, North Carolina, Greenville, Fayetteville, and near Kitty Hawk as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Heavy snowfall primarily focused near Virginia Beach, southern Maryland, and just outside of Richmond. This is not really going to go much further north, though. Again, I've been telling you guys this for multiple days now. I didn't really have a whole lot of confidence that this would be impacting that many areas off to the north, really, of like Maryland, for example, and that looks like what we're going to be seeing is just going to be really around Virginia Beach and also back into North Carolina. So again, that's the latest forecast. We'll go into snowfall accumulation also in a moment. Let me pull up the snowfall accumulation numbers here on what you can expect, and then we'll get to some questions and stuff like that. And obviously we'll be covering this winter storm with several storm chasers out there. All right, so this is the latest snowfall accumulation forecast for the rest of today. This does not include what we've already seen. So this is from now until basically the tomorrow morning hours. So overall, again, we're still expecting a widespread 5 to 10 inches of snow in far northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, southern Missouri, and northern Arkansas. 5 to 10 inches of snow is what we're expecting. I could still see a couple areas near 12 to 14 inches of snow. We've had a lot of drier air initially with this system, which has limited the snowfall amount so far. I think that's going to start to be less of a problem as we go into tonight. And then also back over into Kentucky and Tennessee, we're still anticipating a pretty large area, around 2 to 5 inches of snowfall. And then back over on the East Coast, we are anticipating significant snowfall accumulation in North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland, where we could see as much as 6 to 12 inches of snowfall back over near Virginia Beach, just north of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and just to the north there of Raleigh into southern Maryland. Another big concern tomorrow will be the ice accumulation across North Carolina. This is going to be significant, and I would expect a lot of travel impacts in addition to the threat, not just for travel impacts, but also power outages across areas like North Carolina. Also, here's the ice accumulation forecast across the southern plains. We're anticipating the majority of this ice accumulation to be in North Texas, across Arkansas, and as well as back through Oklahoma, and I do think some of that will reach into northern Missouri, or sorry, not northern Missouri, northern Mississippi as we go into tomorrow morning. So definitely make sure if you have any travel intentions tomorrow that you are taking it very slow on the roadways. All right, let me get to some chat stuff, and again, we'll be live here for probably about an hour or two, maybe a bit longer, covering this winter storm. So we'll be answering questions. We'll have storm chasers obviously out there, including Connor, and as well as Brandon Kopic, which it looks like Brandon Kopic, once again, this is now the third time that somebody has gotten stuck in the first 15 minutes. So we're now at a count. We should just have a counter at this point. That is 3. Shout out to Brandon and as well as Corey and multiple other people helping push cars out of being stuck out here. Obviously, again, don't travel if you don't have to, but this is a very common sight right now in Missouri. Thank you, Amy, for becoming a member. Thank you, Carrie, as well, for becoming a member. Thank you, Brandon, for the super chat. Will Louisiana get snow? I don't think Louisiana is going to see any snow. Freezing rain is possible just north of the interstate, which is Interstate 20. So anything north of Interstate 20, a little bit of freezing rain and sleet. And what does the DFW Metro look like for snow? I don't expect any snow in DFW. It's going to be mainly freezing rain and sleet tonight. They're pushing that car pretty well out there. Shout out to all these police officers too, by the way. There's several police officers here in Branson, Missouri that are also helping out. Right there in the middle of your screen, the one that's driving, that is also a police officer. A lot of those people are helping out as well. Thank you, Rose Red, for the 5 gift memberships. If you got a gift membership, make sure to thank Rose Red in the chat. Thank you, Davis, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, 495, for the $4 super chat as well. And then Tina says, Knoxville, Tennessee, canceled school tomorrow. There are a lot of school closures for many different reasons. It is not just because of the snow, but it's also very cold. We are talking about a very significant Arctic blast over the next few days. And we're going to have a video tomorrow morning talking about who is going to see those record-breaking temperatures, which will really ramp up Thursday and Friday. Thank you, Natalie, for the 5 gift members as well. Got a gift of membership. Make sure to thank Natalie in the chat. Thank you, Vincent, as well. Will Central Maryland get snow? I don't think Maryland's going to see that much snow unless you're on the southern side of the state. I think really across the entire state it ranges. Like, we're talking a coating to like 8 inches. If you're further south, up to 8 inches. If you're back over in northern Maryland, you might get lucky with a coating. Thank you, Batman, as well as Catherine, for becoming members. Cape Girardeau should be predominantly snow here in a few hours, and I think it's going to ramp up very quickly over the next few hours. This sort of looks like, again, right now, and if we go a little bit closer to Cape Girardeau, we got some actually heavier snow bands coming in right now to Cape Girardeau and Jackson. So snow is about to ramp up here, but I think the worst of it is still yet to come. The marginal risk text is still there. We have a marginal risk of severe weather today, guys. We have a risk. This is your risk of severe weather today. We're not live for severe weather today, but there is actually a risk. Can I send you pictures and videos from Tulsa? Yes, you can. At me on Twitter, at MaxVelocityWX, or you can also at me on Facebook. Those are the 2 best ways to send me any sort of photos or videos. And we'll be showing some of that stuff throughout the stream today, so if you guys have anything to send in, feel free. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on socials. Let's go back over to that Missouri camera. So a few minutes ago, we did show you this camera, the Missouri Dock camera, west of Springfield on I-44, and this truck is just stuck. It's basically stranded out here. There's literally nobody even driving by right now. Unfortunately, again, we're gonna have a lot of trucks and cars that are stuck on the roadways today, and this is, again, just a prime example of why you should not be traveling today. And if we go a little bit further west, I'm pretty sure there's an accident somewhere here along I-44, at least as of 30 minutes ago, and it might be here. Yeah, all these cars are stuck here. I don't know what's going on here. It's a bit of a blurry camera, but definitely people that are stuck here, and I don't think many of these people are going to be moving here over the next couple of hours. I think it's just going to be standstill traffic along I-44. Again, these roads for the most part are just covered over. You can see, again, a lot of red here, and again, just west here of Springfield, just south of Carthage. This is going to be a major problem over the next several hours. There are people obviously driving out here across Missouri, but again, I personally don't recommend it. I would definitely just stay home, have the fireplace going, maybe have the stream left on here as well. We'll have obviously a lot of stuff happening, I think, over the next couple of hours. Will there be a live stream tomorrow? I don't plan on being live tomorrow. I think tomorrow is just too small of an area. Today, I wasn't even really confident that we'd actually go live for this, but I think it's just enough of an area to cover to go live for snow. Usually, I mean, if this was like a severe weather event covering this huge area, I mean, we would definitely be live, but snow is a bit different. Snow is a little bit like, it's more like right now we're just kind of like nowcasting and showing you what's happening out there. But if it was a much smaller area than this, we wouldn't be live. Thank you, Steven, for the super chat. Love the videos. Can you check on San Antonio? San Antonio's not really going to see anything like at all other than just a little bit of rain today. So I would not be too concerned if you're back over in San Antonio. Kentucky governor has declared a severe storm watch. I don't think... Does that exist in Kentucky? I've never heard of a severe storm watch before. Like a severe thunderstorm watch exists. I don't know if they have some weird terminology though for their like emergency stuff. Thank you, Jar, for becoming a 1-month member. So far, not too bad in DFW, just going to be cold. Well, there will be freezing rain, I think, in a little bit. I mean, there's nothing right now, but I think we're only about a couple hours out from at least seeing some very light freezing rain and drizzle. It's really back over in the Texas Panhandle right now, but in a couple hours, this will be heading into the northwest side of North Texas, and currently the freezing line, if we go over to the temperatures, which is, let's see, temperatures. This is what the temperatures look like right now in North Texas. Our freezing line currently is just to the west of I-35. And again, this will be sinking south over the next few hours. And basically any precipitation that's falling in DFW by 6 o'clock tonight will be freezing rain. So that's one of the biggest concerns right now for North Texas. It's a very populated area, and I honestly wouldn't anticipate there being a lot of problems on the roadways if we even get the slightest bit of freezing rain. It doesn't take much for there to be major travel impacts. So definitely want to be prepared for that. Any water spouts today? You know, there could be an isolated water spout just off the coast of Florida, just off the east coast of Florida this evening. I wouldn't rule it out. I made a post about it actually on Twitter and Facebook earlier. This is from Alpha Gaming on Twitter. 8 inches of snow in 6 hours back over in Springfield, Missouri. That is quite a bit of snowfall. And again, the snowfall accumulation forecasts are pretty much on par, even for the Springfield area, seeing around 8 to 12 inches of snowfall today. Obviously, widespread, we're talking 5 to 10 inches from Kansas all the way even back into western Kentucky. But southern Missouri was expected to get the worst of the snow. And so far, already 8 inches of snow. It's quite a bit. And again, if you have any photos or videos, you can have me on Twitter. I just had Tracy say on Twitter, love watching Max, only wish this storm was hitting Ohio. There won't be much. There will not be much snow in Ohio. Maybe a coating to an inch. Thank you, John, for the super chat. Is there such thing as a snowstorm and then tornadoes just after the snowstorm in weather history? Do you mean going from snow to tornadoes, like as in like Springfield, Missouri, today has snow and then the next day there's tornadoes? Or are you talking about like there being snow and then further south there's tornadoes happening at the same time? Because we've definitely seen the second part. I don't know about the first part. I don't really know if we've had an event where we have snow and then 12 hours later it turns into a tornado outbreak in like the same area. Let's check in with Connor, who is currently on the interstate. And I don't know why he is so enlarged. Oh, because I didn't fix my overlays, that'd be why. Connor is currently located in Gravette, Arkansas. He is traveling along Interstate 49, going back up into Missouri. I think he's going towards Joplin right now. Road conditions aren't terrible here along I-49. They're much worse to the north and east, like back up near Springfield and Joplin, and even back over near Branson.
See, we're about to cross back. All right, we just crossed back.
So not too terrible here. If we go back over to Brandon Kopic, and who is live on Radar Omega and on YouTube, it is a very different story. They are barely driving right now. It is a snail's pace out here in Branson, Missouri.
Being stuck out there since I have a free place to stay in Joplin.
Where's the Tulsa heavy snow? Bottom right of your screen. It's actually on the north side of town right now. North side of Tulsa, there's pretty heavy snowfall. It's not moving very fast, so it'll probably stack up pretty quickly. Especially with it being cold. Again, with how cold it is, this is just going to stack up very quick. Thank you, Doug, for the $10 super chat. Greetings from Santa Claus, Indiana. Stay warm and 17,000 remaining. Yeah, we're getting close. You know, it's kind of crazy to think. We are currently a little under 17,000 subscribers away. Top left of your screen. A little under 17,000 subscribers away from 1 million. I don't think we'll hit it today, but we'll probably hit it in the next week or two at the rate we're currently going. go back over to Brandon. I might go to Corey as well. Looks like Brandon is currently getting back onto Route 65. I think Corey is still in town. Very slow traveling there, and if we go back over to Corey... This is in downtown Branson, Missouri right now. Hey, Goral for the 5 gifted members. You got to gift a membership. Make sure to thank Goral in the chat. Thank you, Martha, for becoming a member. Thank you, Taz, for the $10 super chat. Please get a snack and treat for your kitty. She is actively sleeping. I need a cat cam. I got to, like, set one up, actually. Thank you, Dur, for the super chat. I got to set up a cat cam, because she has, like, a cat tower right next to me. It'd be perfect. Perfect, literally. Pun. No pun intended. OU is closed tomorrow. Thank you for the report. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of closures because of so many different things. Cold, snow, wind chills will be sub-zero across almost all of Oklahoma tomorrow morning. Do you think Springfield, Missouri will get 2 feet Wednesday? I'm guessing you mean just out of this event, because nothing's really happening next week. But, I mean, if you're, like, in Springfield, I think, like, the highest number will be, like, 16 to 18 inches, really anywhere in southern Missouri. This is what I'm talking about, by the way, here in southern Missouri. We got massive hills. Like, these hills in snow, in terms of snow, are just really difficult to climb up. In some of these vehicles. Now, Corey isn't having any problems, but there are plenty of vehicles that have had problems.
I don't know where this Challenger is going. I don't know if he's trying to get back up to Springfield or what. I'm gonna follow him at least another exit or so.
We will, by the way, I've already kind of made this announcement, but we will be doing 500 signed hats for 1 million subscribers. We're doing 500 total. If you are a member of the channel, you will be able to pre-order the hats, meaning that if you are not a member, you are not technically guaranteed a hat, even though I think they'll still probably be available. I'm not entirely sure if they will. I have no clue, but we do have over, I'm pretty sure, 500 members, so it is possible that they just sell out. But if you want to get a signed hat, we're going to start pre-orders, I think, in about a few days. Once we get to around 995,000 subscribers, we'll start doing that. So if you are a member, just look out for the community tab for that sort of stuff. All the other million subscriber merch will be available to everybody once we hit 1 million. And that goes. By the way, if you are a member, you will not be able to get early access to the other merch. It's just the hats. So this is currently in Branson, Missouri. If you are just tuning in, Corey Gherkin currently traveling across town. We've already had 3 cars that have been stuck in the first 30 minutes of the stream. I feel like we'll get up to like 6 or 7, to be honest, in the next, like, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how long they stay in Branson. I know Brandon is going further north, I think. So he's going back up towards Springfield right now. Oh, is Corey...
Go back into town.
Is Corey just backing up?
Definitely found a curb. Well, that looks straight up like a road.
Or did he just get... I don't know if he just got stuck or something. Or did he hit a curb? But what just happened? Thank you, Alana, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. And also thank you, Vicky, for the 19-month membership. Thank you, Nancy, for the $10 super chat. Yes, my name is Max. My name is not Steve. I'm not an imposter. Unintentional off-roading. Apparently hit a curb. Curb check.
Time for another alignment now.
Oh, it looks like Brandon is actually still in the town.
Yeah,
4-inch-an-hour rates in Joplin. Is that actually happening right now? Wait, Ben is live, I'm pretty sure. Let me, I gotta get Ben up. I think Ben is in Joplin right now. Thank you, Mike, for the $10 super chat. I've had bro, my browser just crashed.
I am in
Have not had much snow this year in Ohio. Maybe later in February. I don't even know if we're going to see much snow in February, to be honest. Like, in Ohio. Like, we're not going to have much more here for the rest of the month. This is, like, the last big winter storm for most of the country. Otherwise, we're just dealing with... there isn't much left here this month. It's mostly just this winter storm, and then after this, it's just the Arctic blast for the rest of the week. And then by next week, we're dealing with a much warmer weather pattern with not really much else happening. So it's going to be much quieter, I think, for the last week of February. Thank you, Steven, for the super chat. What are the chances of a snow NATO warning happening? There isn't actually such thing as a snow NATO warning, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but the odds of us seeing a snow NATO are actually not that low. There have been like some small little mesos I've seen people show on Twitter today that have happened on the ground level, so it's not impossible to see a snow NATO. But, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like, even if it happens, it's not significant. Thank you, Jane, for becoming a member. Any snow for Salty Springs today? There's no way we're trying to figure out if there's snow coming to Fortnite. Thank you, Maggie, for the super chat. I'm enjoying the day off. I would be enjoying the day off, too, if it was snowing. I have not seen snow in, like, 7 years, believe it or not. It's been a long time. Let's go back up to Burlington, Kansas right now. By the way, Burlington, Kansas is 2 degrees right now. 2 degrees. It is frigid. This is not the kind of snow that you want to go outside and play in. Like, when it's 2 degrees outside and there's also wind, which right now it's not windy, but, like, if there was wind, it would be even worse. It's terrible. Well, we've already at least seen several inches of snow here. Let's check out the snow map and see what the latest reports are in terms of snowfall accumulation. I've already seen some people post higher numbers than this, but this is the general amount of snowfall we've seen so far. Back over in Hutchinson, Kansas, as of about 2 hours ago, 7 inches of snow across the city of Hutchinson. Just outside of Wichita, Kansas, we've already seen 7 inches of snow in Mount Hope. And then back over near Springfield, I just saw somebody send me a tweet on Twitter of 8 inches of snow. It says 3 as of an hour ago. I think we've seen more than that so far in Springfield. Even if we haven't, more snow is to come. We're going to see these numbers much higher, I think, in only a few hours. Tulsa's been pretty low as well so far. Again, the reason why these areas have been lower is because of a lot of the dry air that we've been seeing. Even then, though, I think we're going to start to see more snow ramp up over the next few hours, and the majority of your snowfall accumulation in northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas is going to fall within the next 4 to 5 hours. And we've seen a really widespread coating to a couple inches across most areas in Missouri. But once again, it's nothing too significant up there, and we weren't really expecting anything significant up there anyways. And then some of the snowfall totals from this morning. Nebraska saw a few inches of snowfall. Most of Kansas at this point has seen at least a few inches of snow as well. And again, the winter storm, let's go to the more regional radar here. The heaviest of the snow and the worst of this winter storm is currently tracking across northeast Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, central and southern Missouri, and also back through Arkansas. Keep in mind, some of this, by the way, is freezing rain. The radar doesn't properly show that. This is what it looks like right now in Perry County, Arkansas. The camera lens has been frozen over by freezing rain. That's going to be pretty common. Freezing rain is actually sticking to a lot of cameras today. It's not just that one. So... all right, let's go back to Brandon, who again is live on Radar Omega and on YouTube.
As a local man weather would say. My guy, local man weather, I love it.
He is currently in Branson, Missouri, along with Corey Gherkin. And they've already gotten 3 cars, I think, unstuck here in the last about 35 minutes. A reoccurring trend out here. As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you're notified with the latest updates. Again, we are now 16,500 subscribers away from 1 million. We do weather coverage like this all the time.
PDS, snow flurry, PDS, snow flurries.
Don't forget to like the stream as well if you've been enjoying the stream so far. Helps get this out to more people as well. Feel free to share the stream as well for any friends or family that might be thinking, hey, I'm going to go out and get some Burger King, because I don't think you should be today. Eat those beans and rice in your pantry instead.
Going up towards like St. Louis and all that. Looks like a really good band starting to set up along the I-44 corridor. Stupid ice right in the middle of the freaking view.
Wayne says, negative 18 in Hazen, North Dakota. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Yeah, it is absolutely freezing up there. Thank you, Runnin, for the 5 gifted members. If you got a gifted membership, make sure to thank Runnin in the chat. Thank you, Mike, as well, for the 5 gifted memberships. I don't know if I missed that. Thank you, Victoria, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. It's nice watching this without having to worry about tornadoes. I agree, honestly. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of doing winter storm streams unless it's significant, which I think this is like borderline significant enough for me to go live. But I do enjoy these more. They're very relaxing. It's not as like intense. Not as much stuff happening all at once, which is, it's a bit of a nice change, I would say, from what we usually do. Thank you, Face, for the 1 gifted membership. What are you gonna do for the 1 million subscriber special? I don't really have any plans. I mean, like, I don't want to spoil. I do have something I'm gonna be doing when we hit 1 million, but I'm not gonna spoil it. The plan is, because I think we're gonna hit 1 million subscribers before our next live stream, because I don't think we're gonna be live anytime soon. So if that happens, we will be doing a live stream to members on this channel and also to our second channel. And that will be public on our second channel, but for members only on this channel, once we're close to 1 million, like if we're at like 999,600 or something, we'll go live and we'll do like a little celebration stream. I will link my second channel in the chat. It's also in the description below if you want to subscribe to that, in case you do want to watch that stream. I'm not going to do it on the main channel though, because I don't want to send out notifications to everybody for hitting 1 million subscribers. I just don't think that's fair, so especially when it's usually just weather stuff. Second channel, if you don't see the link, it is More Max Velocity. You can just look it up. More Max Velocity is the channel.
Yeah, there's a Casey's over here.
Oh, thank you, Jason, for the $5 super chat. Sorry, I missed that. I'm in the northern part of Virginia Beach. Could you see the storm performing in that area to 12 inches or more range? I think it'll be 6 to 12. Wouldn't rule out an isolated spot near like 15. Like that could be Virginia Beach, but I think the majority of the Virginia Beach area will be around 6 to 12.
Find the curb. PDS curbs here, guys. PDS curbs.
Whoever plowed this parking lot left a random snow pile in the...
Brandon is now at a gas station. We'll go back over to Corey. Roads are actually not like too bad right now when it comes to the amount of people on them. We have had several cars get stuck, obviously, but right now it doesn't look too bad. Shout out to Leah with the 10 gifted memberships. Put some W's in the chat for Leah. If you got a gifted membership, make sure to thank Leah in the chat. Also, thank you, Bear Mom, for the gifted membership. Casey's is goated. I've never been to Casey's, nor did I even hear about it until like Storm Chasers went there. Let me see where Ben is right now. Might go to Ben if I can figure out where he is. Let's go to Ben Williams. Ben Williams is currently in Rogers, Arkansas, so this is a different place that we have not yet been to. I don't know if we're gonna go to. I don't know if we're going there because it didn't load. All right, let me see if I can fix that. 1 second. Look at the wind, by the way. It's actually picking up a little bit here. This is Brandon in Branson, Missouri. Let me see if I can fix this. It makes sense. I didn't have his stream even plugged into my stream.
Well, yeah, right. I don't know what to say about it. There's just like dryers and push back in.
Now we can go to Ben. So Ben Williams, he's currently back over in Rogers, Arkansas. This is a live view.
Yes, we almost have a whiteout here. At least for me, it's a little easier for you guys to see through the camera, but for me, it's almost a whiteout. So
A lot of snow on the ground here in Rogers. Huge shout out to Barbara with the $50 Venmo. Put some W's in the chat for Barbara. Thank you for your awesome channel. We are in Ozark, Missouri. Sorry, I can't read the entire message. It got cut off. We are watching in Ozark, Missouri. Watching it dump snow by the warm fireplace. That is a W, by the way. I'm glad you're not currently trying to travel out there. Stay warm and appreciate the very generous Venmo donation.
Visibility under a quarter of a mile here. We have 133 people in here, and we only have
Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't really think
Let's
Chattanooga is
push
going to see any more than like a coating.
It's free to like the stream. Costs you nothing, but it helps.
Chattanooga,
out, so
I just do not foresee seeing that much snow.
Who likes and tunes into the stream, but let's run those lights.
I think it's mostly going to just be a cold rain, maybe a little bit of sleet.
Come on.
Thank you, Brandon, for becoming a 5-month member.
Weather. This is some crazy weather. Where's Max? Is Max in here?
Could there be a tornado? The only place that there could be a tornado is like the Gulf Coast. It's a pretty low risk overall, though. All right, there we go. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to leave those in the chat. We're now a little under 330 subscribers away from 984,000. About 16,000 from a million. Any snow in coastal North Carolina? The only place I think that'll have any snow back over in North Carolina would be, like, again, right along the coastline and, like, far northeastern North Carolina. This is what it should look like by the time this event is done. Again, the majority of this snow is going to be right here between Cary all the way back through Virginia Beach. But the worst of it, really, I think will be very localized around Virginia Beach. I think it'll be a bit more than just 6 inches. I think we'll be closer to like 8 to 10 in some of these areas. But nonetheless, we're still talking about this entire region here, around 2 to 4 inches of snow. And then, again, many locations higher than that back over near Virginia Beach, and Chesapeake, and just north of Elizabeth City. But generally speaking, like if you're right along the coastline in North Carolina, a lot of moisture coming from the south. It will limit a lot more of the snow. I think it'll be a lot more rain over there. And then again, if you're back over like Nashville, actually, I think if I can find it real quick, there's a pretty good graphic that shows central Tennessee. This is James Pettis's graphic. You can check him out on Twitter as well. This is a pretty solid forecast in my opinion. 2 to 4 inches right there in Nashville, Dixon, Salina. And then again, more significant snowfall further north, back up near like Paris, for example. But this is a pretty good forecast. Good graphic from James Pettis. Feel free to go back a second and screenshot that if you want. Most significant snowfall, again, really just around and south of Springfield, Missouri. Hope it ends up snowing more than that. I don't think we're going to see overperforming numbers in Tennessee. I could be wrong, but I just don't think we're going to. This type of event, in my opinion, I think is kind of performing around, if not just slightly below what was forecasted. Really, the only area that's really underperforming heavily right now is the Tulsa area, but we are starting to see some heavier snowfall now, so things are starting to get a little bit closer to what was forecasted. But even then, we've barely seen anything in Tulsa so far, so it's going to take quite a bit of snow to actually get to what was forecasted. I think our forecast here was 3 to 5, or 5 to, I think it was about 3 to 5 inches of snow in Tulsa. And then obviously much more significant off to the north. Thank you, that guy, for becoming a member. Thank you, Leaf Princess, for the $5 super chat. Virginia Beach here. We are super excited. Is this historical or what? Do you think we could see 12 inches? I don't know what historical is in Virginia Beach, but I think this is because I don't think Virginia Beach, like, ever gets this much snow. Let me see if I can check that, though. See if I can find information on that. The most snow ever in a single day for Virginia Beach was 13.6 inches of snow, February 18th of 1989. How ironic that tomorrow is February 19th. It's like a day later. But this would be one of the more significant winter storms if we actually saw a foot of snowfall in Virginia Beach. Because it would rank in the top 5 for a single day. Because even our third highest spot is 11.8 inches, again in February. Every one of these events, actually, never mind. The second highest event was December 26th at 13.4 inches of snow. And then the third highest was 11.8 inches of snow, February 6th of 1980. So yeah, this would be historical. If that did happen. Again, I'm not saying we'll see 12 inches of snow in Virginia Beach. I'm giving it a pretty large range because it literally could bust. It could easily bust. It could also really be a big event. It could go either way in Virginia Beach. It's going to be such a close call. It's, again, a much smaller storm over there on the East Coast. Much smaller storm. Shout out to Coda for the $5 donation on PayPal. Tuning in from Memphis, where the first snowflakes are starting to fall here. What are we expecting around Memphis? I think really in the next few hours, we're going to start with a little bit of freezing drizzle and a little bit of sleet. It'll eventually transition primarily into snow. I think Memphis really around 3 to 5 inches would probably be pretty realistic. All right, not 3 to 5, sorry, 2 to 4 in Memphis. Be pretty realistic. I don't want to get your hopes up too high. I mean, we could see 5 inches, but 2 to 4 is realistic. I'm trying not to get everybody's hopes up high, because like I feel like if I say like, oh, you're gonna see 4 to 6 inches of snow and then you only get 3, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this guy stinks at forecasting. Thank you, Pat, for the super chat. Way more fun to watch you cover my area now than it is during tornado season. I agree with that. Appreciate the super chat. Also, thank you, Cindy, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Let's go over to Corey. Or not Corey, sorry, Brandon.
I think there's some...
Who is, again, inside of Branson, Missouri. He's in the downtown area. I think it'd be kind of cool just to kind of look around here. Again, we've already seen 3 cars get unstuck here throughout this live stream. Very short amount of time as well. I anticipate that more are going to get unstuck here pretty soon. And really the biggest story with today's stream is I would not be traveling if you are anywhere here across Missouri or Arkansas or even across most of Oklahoma due to all the ice and snow that we're seeing. If I were in your shoes, I would not be traveling. Quick update for those in North Texas. If you are tuning in from the North Texas area, this is the latest National Weather Service forecast for the North Texas region, including Dallas-Fort Worth. Again, we're going to start to see some freezing rain pick up, I think, a little bit more as we get closer to 6 to 10 o'clock tonight, and then maybe some snow flurries late tonight. Reason why I'm mentioning this is that it's going to be very isolated and it's going to be very light, but even the slightest bit of ice accumulation will lead to some significant issues on the roadways. So just giving you a quick update if you're back over in the North Texas area. It'll start to ramp up over the next couple hours. Thank you, Matthew, for the super chat. What are your thoughts on Owensboro? Is the Ohio River going to play a factor? Which Owensboro are we talking about? I don't know where Owensboro is. Western Kentucky will be around 3 to 6 inches, I think. Could see an isolated 7 to 8 inch mark. Corey is currently on the, I think, interstate. I don't know if there's a truck in front of him. I can't tell. I think there's some sort of like plow or something in front of him, though. This is what it looks like currently south of Springfield on Route 65. This is Route 65, or Highway 65, just south of Springfield.
Westbound here in the Charleston, Sykeston, Missouri area.
When do you think it'll start to impact central Arkansas? I mean, it's already started. If you look bottom right of your screen, we're already seeing freezing rain. If you have not already seen freezing rain yet, it's going to start to ramp up over the next few hours. And then we'll transition, I think, to snow briefly in some of those areas, mainly north of Little Rock. Arkansas here. Why does it always feel like you're covering us? I think this is the probably 5th or 6th stream in the last couple of months that we are talking somewhere about Arkansas. Actually, let's go over to Connor. This one looks like just south of Joplin. And if you look at the bottom of your screen on the road, you can actually see the snow drifting right to left. This is, again, some of these are like blizzard-like conditions. We're not talking about blizzard conditions right now, but these are blizzard-like conditions that are happening right now on the interstate. We've seen much worse blowing snow before. If there was a lot more snow on the ground, this would be a completely different story. But again, the amount of snow that we have right now is not terrible to the point where we're talking about significant impacts on the interstate. Hey, Wade, for becoming a member. And Joe, thank you for becoming a member. And Cindy.
On Saturday, and I like
I think I already said
literally nothing obstructing it. It's like sitting perfectly normal. So I don't know. I haven't been able to really.
I've seen worse snow drifting driving to work in Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad right now, but it gives you an idea that the wind is beginning to pick up a little bit. Thank you, Jane, for becoming a member. Thank you, Antonio, for the super chat. Is any idea for Knoxville, Tennessee, if they'll get snow? I think Knoxville is going to see a little bit of snow, but it's going to be pretty light. Like, we're talking like 1 to 3 inches, probably. That's about it.
On like the website.
There will be some snow, just not much.
And then it just
Thank you, Vicky, for becoming a 1-month member.
And so I haven't messed with it since, just because it was too cold.
Thank you for Hot Springs.
That's what was
Yeah, snow drifts are getting a little bit worse the further he goes along here, but it's not like bad. This isn't like, you know, this isn't dangerous by any means right now. Obviously, again, if we had a few more inches of snow, probably would be much more dangerous.
Yeah, dude, Saturday made me question the whole profession.
There are plows actively out there. Brandon actually just went by a plow.
Looks like a strong band is starting to set right along that corridor.
Now he's on a bit of a side road here, but there are plows out there right now, like Branson, Missouri, for example.
It's definitely honing in on 44. I'm almost back to Joplin.
I'm 10-8, but just need to know the paint is great, but it's just one down. Not being no fire.
Yeah, this is Brandon Kopic. You can watch him on YouTube and also in the Radar Omega app. Same thing with all these chasers, other than Ben, who is not on Radar Omega, but he is on YouTube. Thank you, Dub, for the $5 super chat. I love everything you do for us. I watch all your updates. I wish during times of flooding you would throw some river stages in there. Do you mean like when we had the Kentucky event? We'll definitely add those in the future. I'm not gonna lie, like when we went live on I don't know what day it was anymore. Was that Saturday? When we went live on Saturday, it was just kind of one of those things, like we went live, you know, later in the day, and I went live mainly for severe weather, so I wasn't really prepared to talk like in depth about flooding, for example. So but we'll definitely add that stuff in more in the future. We don't usually go live just for flooding, though. We do have a road closure, I-44, just to the west of Springfield, Missouri. And this, again, is one of the reasons why. We have a truck stuck in the middle of the road and is unable to move. There is now a police officer on the scene. There was not a police officer on the scene the last time we were here. This is on the Missouri dot camera, just to the west of Springfield. But here's what it looks like on the map. So again, just to the west of Springfield, we are back over near the Leewood area, just to the north of Unknown Spur, north of Goodman. So an I-44, basically coming into, not coming into Kansas, coming into Missouri. It's also pretty slow out there. This is another camera just a bit further out to the west. And then, let's see if there's any other view of anything here. Yeah, this is, again, the main thing right now. I think a lot of the cars are getting off the exits over there. Just before that truck. We had cars passing this truck not too long ago, but they've obviously closed it, it looks like. Haven't seen any more cars since. We are now 158 subscribers from 984,000, and we are going to be about 16,000 subscribers away from 1 million. Crazy stuff. If you are just tuning in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the stream as well. Helps get this out to more people. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. I will be answering some. Bet schools will be closed here again in St. Louis. I think if St. Louis closes schools, it would be because of how cold it is. I don't think it has really anything to do with the snow, because there isn't really much snow happening up there. It's mostly just... It's very light snow, but, I mean, we're not seeing anything significant up there. It's more of the cold weather, if I had to guess. It's going to be downright frigid in the Great Plains tomorrow, and as well as, Thursday. Ben Williams is in Rogers, or around the Rogers, Arkansas area. Corey Gherkin is currently near Benson, just north of Benson now, in Missouri, going towards Springfield. And then Connor Croft, bottom right, he is approaching Joplin. So we have a very diverse, basically, you know, amount of chasers here. Everybody's in a different area. Brandon is still in Branson, so we have 3 different perspectives here. 2 of them in Missouri, but different areas completely, and then Ben, who is in Arkansas. Looks like the road conditions are beginning to get a little bit worse. Just a little bit worse. Approaching Joplin, Missouri. So again, Connor, who is going in the direction of Joplin, right along I-49. May rise above and below for the super chat. What do you think Cam Denton, Missouri, will see the rest of the day going into tonight? I think it's going to just continue to snow up there, back over south of Jefferson City. Really anywhere between Springfield and Jefferson City. Actually, there, if you look at the radar bottom right, we do have a lot of the dark blue here, which is heavier snowfall, just to the north there of Springfield, between I-49 and Jefferson City. So you actually might get some heavier snow, which could lead to some locally or higher amounts there over the next few hours.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, some of it gets a little bit out of hand, and there are an awful lot of categories, I guess, too. But you know, I don't know. I guess it's mostly just to make it fun for everyone more than anything else. But yeah, it's, I don't know. From the sounds of it too, a lot of things got out of hand over there.
Hey, Julie, for the super chat, how many inches for Southern Illinois? Marion, Carbondale, etc. We haven't had more than 4 inches in a long time, so we're in denial.
Brandon, I kind of figured you worked with a
Let me double check real quick. I'm not sure what exact. I think it's gonna be around 3 to 6. Let's go. Let's like zoom in though on that particular area. Go to Southern, or just go to Illinois in general. I think 3 to 6 was kind of the range. It's not a very large area, but really far southern Illinois is the main area that we're talking about. And 3 to 6 inches would be really in the like furthest southern counties, like the furthest southern 3 counties here, going north to south. And then it's really a coating to maybe 2 or 3 inches a little bit further north. So unless you're in extreme southern Illinois, you're not going to see much. So we're basically talking about Carbondale, Harrisburg, and then south. If you're anywhere north of Carbondale or Harrisburg, you're probably not going to see much more than a coating to like 1 or 2 inches. And that includes areas like Mount Vernon. All right, looks like Brandon Kopic has now also gotten onto the interstate from Branson, Missouri. So everybody's taking the trip up, it looks like, towards Springfield, where some of the more significant snowfall will be happening. And this is what Highway 65 currently looks like. I keep saying interstate. It's Highway 65 south of Springfield. This is what it looks like right now. There have been snowplows out there, and I think there's actually one. Somebody, I think that's something that's treating the road right now. Either that or plowing. Biggest problem again here across Missouri and Arkansas. All the hills, all the mountainous terrain, and that's going to be causing a lot of problems. And there is a plow truck right there. Bean Station, Tennessee will probably be around 1 to 3 inches of snow, maybe up to 4 to 5 in a couple spots there in the mountainous regions.
That plow was kicking up.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, it's like a whiteout. It's borderline whiteout conditions.
What city are we looking at? This is just south of Springfield, Missouri, north of Branson. Again, this is Brandon Kopic, who's on Radar Omega and on YouTube. This is Corey Gherkin, who's just ahead of Brandon. It looks a whole lot worse where he is on the highway. You can't even see. I think there's just another plow truck in front of him, which is making it look a lot worse. Snow in the the Atlanta Metro. I don't think we're going to see any snow in Atlanta. Don't think we'll see any ice there either. The only impacts in Georgia will be far northern Georgia near the Appalachian Mountains. Thank you, Grant, for becoming a member, and Beth, welcome to the Velocities.
Yeah, that sign freaked me out, guys. I thought a snowplow went off the road.
This is supposed to continue through the night, so even moving east, we should be.
Yeah, this is live on Highway 65, just north of Branson, Missouri.
Like ends somewhere near Rolla.
Thank you, Albert, for becoming a member. No snow yet in Herrin, Illinois, just light flurries. Unless you're, again, unless you're in like southern Illinois, there's not going to be much snow. Unless you are in southern Illinois. Yeah, this truck in front of Corey is just it's just blowing a bunch of snow at him. You can barely see.
The snow's just so light and fluffy, the freaking plows, like, they're plowing it off, it's like blowing right back on the road.
Will Oklahoma see anything else? I think if you are in like northeast Oklahoma, you still got a few hours left of snow. There will be another batch of freezing rain that travels across the southern half of the state over the next hour or two, which is going to lead, again, to ice accumulation. But for the most part, we're talking about the most of the snowfall being across northeast Oklahoma. The ice accumulation is winding down a little bit for most of central Oklahoma. Our heaviest bands of snow right now are in the dark blues, so just east of Springfield. Got another one up near Jefferson City. Got another one right along the Arkansas and Missouri border. And this is what's going to amplify the amount of snowfall that we see over the next few hours. And then freezing rain has really picked up across Arkansas. A large area right now dealing with freezing rain. And once again, this is the Perry County camera, which you can't even see on anymore. It is just an ice globe at this point. It's been frozen over by freezing rain. Just south of Jonesboro, I think this camera might be loose. I don't think it's that windy, but snow is beginning to fall right now in northeast Arkansas, just outside there of Memphis. I think Memphis is only about an hour or two away from there being a little bit of freezing rain and as well as sleet in the area. For now, though, it is quiet. It'll be mainly sleet to start, and then it'll probably transition briefly into freezing rain and then a little bit of snow. And actually, look at this. Quinlan, Missouri is actually already up to a coating of snowfall on the Radar Omega Cyclone Port. So we've actually already seen a little bit of accumulation here back over in southeast Missouri. Poplar Bluff, a little bit of snow here as well. A little bit less snow, actually. About a dusting. And Stoddard County, the Emergency Management Office, not loading. One of the places that really sticks out to me is Burlington, Kansas. It's not really windy here, but the temperature is 3 degrees, and we have already a lot of snow on the ground, and it is still snowing. So, it just continues. Is it moving east, St. Louis? Or will St. Louis maybe see a heavy band of snow? I think the heaviest snow will stay to your south. If you look at the local radar here in St. Louis, this is where all the heavy snow is. It's not really going to go up that far to the north. Too much dry air up there. Really, in general, there's just too much descent across the Midwest to see anything out of this. We have a high pressure system at the surface off to the north. We are officially 2 subscribers from 984,000. Actually, the number is on the top left. I just realized. Never mind. We had to have it full screen. We actually are starting to see snow move into Kentucky. There's a little bit of snowfall now, moving into Paducah and Mayfield. I don't know if really much of it's reaching the ground. This is a live shot just north of Paducah. Maybe a couple of snowflakes reaching the ground, but I think there's just too much dry air out here. But we do have some snow moving into this area. We do have like a little dry air inversion kind of in the middle almost of the atmosphere, which is going to lead, I think, to some areas not seeing snowfall initially, even if it shows on radar. So some snow is going to melt before it actually hits the ground, but that'll change again as we go into the evening hours. Some heavier snow, though, starting to move into Cape Girardeau. We've officially hit 984,000. We are under 16,000 subscribers away from 1 million. Here, look at Joplin. This is what it looks like from Joplin and Springfield right now. Moderate band of snow moving into Joplin. Heaviest snowfall is still south and east of Springfield. We still got a few hours left here across Joplin for snow. Probably until about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight is when you can continue to expect snowfall. This is what it's going to look like by around 8 o'clock tonight. So again, snow will still be falling. It's going to be much lighter by around 8 tonight across Joplin and Springfield. All the snow will be done by midnight in southwest Missouri. Unless you're east of Springfield in southwestern Missouri. The HRRR has been going way further south with the snow. I don't remember the HRRR being this far down to the south at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. It also has the freezing rain being way more significant in North Texas. That might just be like a one-time thing on the computer models. It even has freezing rain down in South Texas tomorrow morning. I don't really think this is going to happen, but that is an interesting trend here from the HRRR that seems to have just popped up here on the 20Z model run. The 21Z model run also has something pretty similar. Yeah, blue would be snow. Let me go back to the let's go back to the 12Z. I'm curious to see what Missouri actually looked like at the same time. Or not Missouri. I keep saying Missouri, Mississippi. It still had snow in Mississippi, but it is a bit further down to the south on the latest runs, which is interesting. Just a little bit further south, probably about 30 or 40 miles further south. The freezing rain, though, is way further down to the south. I mean, right now we do have winter weather advisories in effect in North Texas. So this is what the watches and warnings map looks like. Winter weather advisories are in the purple. They do now extend into North Texas. And then winter storm warnings in effect. Again, kind of where we already expected them to be, but from Kansas all the way back through the Carolinas. Definitely interesting. Hi, Cheese. What's up? Cheese has woken up. She's wondering what I'm doing. Let's go back over to Ben Williams, who is currently in the Rogers area of Arkansas. Snow has been heavy over here for a little bit.
Big truck tow you. Or what's going on here?
He's in the city.
What is this guy doing? Doing something in this car.
Hi.
What's up?
My phone is not overheating like it was before, guys. So I think Connor's suggestion of taking my case off definitely helped out a little bit. And then I've had had the heat off in here, so. Alright, let's see if these guys have gotten unstuck yet. Guys, this car doesn't have the capabilities to really tow anybody up a hill like that, but, yeah. Jeez, guys, let's just sit here and just watch some of these cars up here. Just hopefully we.
All right, let's go back to.
In between there and Ozark, you can just put Ozark.
This is Brandon Kopic.
Closer there by the time we do this.
And then Connor is currently behind a truck. He's approaching. He's actually just north of Joplin, Missouri now. This truck in front of him is like spitting up a tornado with the snow. Thank you, Rick, for the $5 super chat. Joplin has already gotten a lot today between Miami, Oklahoma, and Joplin. The interstate is shut down.
Amazon driver.
I'm not surprised. I mean, we've had a few different trucks get stuck and accidents as well. There's been a ton of accidents in Oklahoma today. Thank you, Eric, for becoming a member. And thank you, Ice Warrior, for the 8 months. Can't believe it's been 8 months since I first started watching you with less than 100K. We had about 12 months ago, I think, was when we hit 100K.
My 3-year-old repeating
So we're pretty close to hitting 1 million only like 12 months later. Thank you, Chris, for the super chat.
Funny comment. Car free, thanks for being a member for 4 months.
I don't think any snow is going to turn to ice between Camp Denton and Springfield, Missouri. It's going to be mostly snow, but it'll still be slick. So. Thank you, Brandon, for the $5 super chat. Super thrilled for you. Been here since the beginning. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brandon. Been a crazy ride.
Dang, this road's snow covered.
And then Joshua asks about how much snow should Savannah, Tennessee expect. It'll be around a coating to 2 inches in Savannah. Wouldn't be surprised if a couple areas, though, in southern Tennessee actually overperformed a little bit, maybe like up to 3 or 4 inches because of the possibility that the track actually shifts a bit further down to the south. It appears as if we are getting even a more southerly path. So.
Alright, Webb City, Carl Junction.
That would be interesting.
I mean, the radar says there's a heavier snow band here, but I don't see
My
it.
last stream, we tried to help that lady getting to work, you know, and her tires were literally bald. Like, she wasn't even stuck on that big of a hill. It was maybe something.
This is
like
Ben. He is for some reason behind. Let me
She could not move. So after
get him to like live. I don't know why I was behind. And now he's frozen. All right, we'll go back to him in a second. There was a car that apparently got stuck on the other side of the road there. And he's back over in Rogers, Arkansas. I wish we got snow in Phoenix. See if that accident got cleared up. This is what it looks like again on I-44 in southwestern Missouri, west of Springfield. A cop actually just got out of his car. It looks like they're doing something here, but this truck has been stuck on the interstate here for a little bit. You can actually see on the bottom of your screen a little bit of blowing snow. So again, there is wind out there, but snowfall accumulation isn't really significant enough. Oh, actually, they're moving. The truck is actually moving right now. So it looks like they're trying to get this truck out of the interstate. The interstate here has been shut down. But they are beginning to move this truck. So hopefully they can get this truck out of the way so this interstate can operate again. They might still keep it closed even if they get it out of the way, but how many problems they have already had. How about Maine? I don't think there's gonna be much up there in Maine out of this. At most, just flurries. Interstate 40 in Missouri is currently closed due to winter road conditions. Motorists are advised to use US Highway 40 as a detour. Any snow in Philadelphia? I wouldn't expect anything more than just a coating to maybe an inch. Well, the truck was moving. We'll go back to this camera if anything does change. They were just beginning to move that truck. So we'll keep a close eye on it if anything does actually happen there. Do you think the Metro Atlanta will be closed Wednesday or Thursday? I don't see why they would close Wednesday or Thursday for Atlanta. Unless I'm missing something here. Unless the forecast has changed and I didn't notice. I don't think Atlanta's seeing anything. Other than rain. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly rain. It would be hard to even see anything more than rain. It's gonna be a bit warmer down there, so... No, I mean, if Atlanta closes schools, it would have to be for cold weather or something, which I don't think they do that there. With temperatures down to like the 30s and 40s, it's not cold enough. Well, Dallas, Texas get bad weather. Dallas, Texas is not going to see like as in like 10 inches of snow bad weather, but I do think freezing rain is coming in the next few hours. I think we're going to definitely see some freezing rain ramp up over the next few hours, which is going to lead to big problems. Again, right now it's fine. There's nothing happening, but in probably about 1 to 2 hours, I think we're going to start to see some freezing rain fill in across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As we start to see more moisture coming out of the Gulf, and as well as out of the Pacific, it's all going to kind of meet up here and create a lot more snow and freezing rain. So there will be more problems, I think, across North Texas. For now, again, it's dry. There isn't really anything happening, but the second freezing rain starts to fall, it's going to be chaos in North Texas. That's all I got to say. It has happened like every year. We always have some sort of ice event or snow event. We've already had one this year, but this one, a lot more people are kind of on the urge of actually like, you know, going to school or going to work sort of thing. Like some people are still going, some people aren't. It's kind of a tough one because again, the forecast in North Texas was not like significant ice accumulation, but even a slightest bit of ice on untreated roadways will cause major problems. This is from Ben Williams, who is currently chasing, but seeing lots of stuck installed cars on some big hills around Fayetteville, Arkansas. Snowfall rates have really increased over the last hour. And it appears as if we at least have 2 different cars that were stuck here in this photo shot. It's a very common occurrence in both Arkansas and as well as in Missouri right now. The hills do not help. If you are traveling out there in Arkansas or Missouri or Oklahoma, you are risking yourself getting stuck or even slipping and possibly getting into some sort of accident. It's not recommended that you travel today unless it's urgent. All right, let's go to Connor. He is now inside of Joplin, Missouri. I think. Yeah, he's on the north side of Joplin, Missouri. Technically in Webb City right now.
I'm gonna stop real quick.
Coming up on an Arby's on the right side of your screen, and Taco Bell, which I don't think are open.
Change my title back to Joplin.
They have ham sandwiches are back, it said on that sign, I think.
Let's go.
That's exciting.
I'll stop at some point and change my title.
Ham sandwiches are making a return to Arby's.
Get out my chicken and eat a little bit more chicken.
Didn't even know they had them. Did it say ham or something else? I feel like they already had ham.
Yeah, there's more snow here than there was in Arkansas.
Thank you, 870 for the $10 super chat. Appreciate the generosity.
A lot more snow on the roads.
Is the Waffle House open? That's what we all have to know. Is the Waffle House open today in Joplin? The Waffle House is open. We know this is not an emergency type of day.
Brahms is open. Brahms doesn't care,
Apparently
man.
Brahms is open.
Brahms does not care.
Alright, if Brahms is open, they have not closed Waffle House. There's just no way.
I haven't seen anybody stuck, so everyone that is out and about is capable. So that's good news.
As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We are now just under 700 subscribers away from 985,000. I think we are going to hit 1 million subscribers within the next week or two. I think it's going to happen. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit the red button down below, subscribe. Be one of the last 16,000 to 1 million. I like Wendy's chili. I've heard good things about it. I've never had Wendy's chili. I'm not gonna lie, Wendy's in general is pretty mid. So. $1 million today. We would need 16,000 people to subscribe right now to hit 1 million. I don't think it's happening today.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be close. And we made
Bro, we're still hitting red lights when nobody's on the roadway. Out here in Missouri, we're still hitting red lights. Actually, earlier, I think it was Ben. I think Ben Williams had somebody run a red light on a stream earlier. I mean, it's... And I don't think it was intentional either. I just don't think he was gonna slow down. Aren't many people on the roadways though right now on the north side of Joplin. It's coming up on a hill though. Let's see what's going on up here. There's a car there, but I think they're driving.
Right,
Actually got a bunch of cars right there.
There's a couple hills that probably could be problematic.
A lot more people here. Got a plow.
Got big fat flakes mixing in
Wow.
with the snow.
That's actually a lot of cars going down that hill, and they were kind of close to each other too. Going back over to Ben Williams, he is in, again, Arkansas. He's back over near Rogers. And it didn't load. We'll refresh it in a second. Let me make sure he's still in Rogers. No, actually, he is back down now near Springdale and Fayetteville. So, Ben Williams, you will see him here. He's currently back over on the north side of Fayetteville. We actually covered a tornado in this area a couple months back.
I still haven't seen anybody stuck from the snow. I've just seen people stuck from their tires being, you know, pretty bad.
There are 14,000 people in the stream, and nobody can tell me what's going on in Nebraska. Nebraska just has a little bit of light snow left, and then you're pretty much done. It's also very cold in Nebraska. I would not want to be there right now.
Guys, does anyone
Temperatures right now in Nebraska are like down to like the single digits and below zero. I think most areas in Nebraska are below zero right now. There are plenty of people on the roadway here in Arkansas, surprisingly. I feel like more people in Arkansas would be off the roads. Decent amount of people traveling. Thank you, Susan, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Fox, for the $10 super chat as well. 1 million this weekend. Book it. What is today? Today Tuesday? It's possible. It is possible. And as a reminder, we will be doing a 1 million subscriber live stream for members on this channel, and then we'll also be doing it on our second channel publicly. So if you want to watch that, if you're not a member of the channel, you can subscribe to my second channel. I'll put the link in the chat. It's also in the description down below. That is the current plan, unless we have, for some reason, we go live when there's a severe weather event, which, again, I kind of doubt there's really much coming up. And the link is in the chat or in the description if you don't see it. Or you can just look it up. It is more max velocity.
Schlotzkys. I've never had Schlotzkys, but it's all around here.
I got something cool planned for the live stream, by the way. Something cool. Just something.
Again, I mean, the roads aren't in great shape, but nobody's getting stuck around here. And
I think it might only be one thing.
I think it's partially because
maybe two.
Snow is so fluffy in nature and not.
Well, there is some good news.
Like
they have cleared that accident, or that, or not accident, but that car that was stuck, or that truck that was stuck in on I-44, just west of Springfield, it is cleared. By the looks of it. I don't know if we're looking that direction right now, because I'm pretty sure it was back over to the left, but nonetheless, I just saw a couple cars go by here on I-44. And then a little bit further back to the west, near Leewood. That's what it looks like out there. Again, bridges are completely snowed over. I'm guessing this interstate will probably stay closed, or at least monitored very closely to be closed, because it is just... the conditions are pretty terrible out there. All across I-44 here, just west of Springfield. It looks like that truck did get unstuck, which is good. Actually, this is another live shot. Looks like we have multiple trucks that are stuck here. Somebody's getting towed and something happened here on I-44 west of Springfield. Thank you, Suzanne, for becoming a member. Thank you, Denise, for the super chat. You add the city and state where the chasers are. I will add that in the future. We are working on something like that. We are working on that. It's not something I can, like, if I manually did it, it would be changing every, like, 5 seconds. So, we're not manually doing, I'm not going to manually do it, but we will add something that's automatic in the future. Coming in from Wichita, Kansas, full of cold, dry snow. It is, like, 5 or 10 degrees right now in Wichita. It is freezing. Hey, Lisa, for the 1-month membership. I definitely recommend, if you're wondering about snowfall accumulation, that you just watch my video from today, because nothing's really changed there. Goes for anybody asking about snowfall accumulation numbers. But I will continue to go through it here throughout the live stream, occasionally. Bro, Ben cannot keep his live streams going. Let me go to Connor, and then I'll fix this. Ben Williams, one of the chasers that we use, he's very new to streaming on YouTube, and I don't think he understands that he can, like, add a thing where his stream doesn't just crash out if he goes into a dead zone. It just keeps
Ben's
ending.
Stream keeps crashing and, like, completely shutting down. Oh, they closed the Smoothie King for the day. Good thing we got in there.
Connor's talking about it too.
They closed Smoothie King.
Alright, I gotta fix now. This is live, by the way, in Joplin, Missouri. I know you can't see the, let me, actually, I think I can drag him up. There we go. I could have literally just done that. Oh, this is live, though, Connor, again, in the north side of Joplin, Missouri, back over in Webb City. Hey, there's another Arby's. Alright, is this the other one from before? I think that's a different Arby's. Thank you, Marilyn, for the super chat. Arby's seem to be everywhere out here. And you got Brahms. I've never been to... Actually, I've been to Brahms once. I thought it was fine. I'm not sure exactly where the EF5 tornado hit in Joplin about 15 years ago now. But I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in this vicinity. You can still see all the snow drifts. They aren't very significant right now because there isn't a whole lot of snow on the ground, but...
Set up shop somewhere back here for a minute. Right in here in the rib crib parking lot. I don't think the rib crib is opening. It might be opening, actually. I think there's somebody in there, but... I'm just gonna sit out here for a second. Alright, give me a half second, actually. Let me turn this walkie back on.
I don't know if he's going into Brahms. I don't know what he said. Let's go over to Court Gherkin, who is currently on Highway 65. He's approaching Springfield along with Brandon Kopic. This is what it looks like right now on Highway 65, just south of Springfield. Hey, Nathaniel for the super chat. I hope Raleigh, North Carolina will be clear by Thursday. I'm flying in Thursday afternoon, fingers crossed.
Sure, smash that like button, guys. We're up to 900.
Let me look at Raleigh real quick. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay below freezing. If it isn't below freezing on Thursday, it should be fine.
Also, subscribe if you haven't.
You might have some problems because tomorrow it's gonna snow and there will also be some freezing rain potential there. Should be mostly snow though. Maybe like a glazing of ice. Thursday it'll be cleared out, but the temperatures will barely get above freezing Thursday, so. Safe travels though. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the red button down below and subscribe. There are a lot of snow drifts again currently happening across Missouri and Arkansas and even Oklahoma. Back over in Oklahoma City, we actually do have some snow falling right now. There's actually some moderate to heavy snow moving through the east side of Oklahoma City. Quick little band of snow has formed here over the last several minutes going towards Shawnee. In addition to the ice accumulation, it makes it even more dangerous if we have a coating of snow over that, ice. Okay, I was reading something. Heaviest snow currently is around Springfield and Joplin. We also have some heavier bands of snow moving towards West Plains in southern Missouri. Another band of heavy snow approaching Jefferson City, just south of Sedalia. St. Louis has been kind of just a hole of snow so far. A little bit of light snow just off to your west and south. Moderate snowfall near Cape Girardeau. If we go over to the cameras back over here near Poplar Bluff, the snow is continuing to fall. It hasn't really accumulated into much yet, only at a dusting currently in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. But if you go back over near Sykeston, there's actually quite a bit more snow on the ground. We're actually up to about a coating here across the Sykeston area in southeastern Missouri. Bit of heavier snowfalls move through this area, and the snow continues to stay light to moderate. And there goes a car going by on the screen there. Okay, is this a stop sign? Or is that just a different... I don't think that's a stop sign. I was about to say, did that car just run through that stop sign? But I don't think that's a stop sign. There's like a weird circle on it. This is also further down to the south in Stoddard County in southeast Missouri. This entire farm is covered over now with at least a coating of snow. And it looks like we're starting to see a few snow flurries now entering into northwestern Tennessee. This is Union City. And yeah, we are starting to see a few snowflakes flying. Barely see it, but a little bit of snow, just a few snowflakes are flying out there. And then over in UT of Martin, not really seeing much there right now. But Memphis, again, currently it's dry, but we are going to start to see a little bit of light rain, and then eventually some freezing rain, sleet, and snow move into this area as we go into tonight, and as well as into early tomorrow morning. We were looking at this camera only a few days ago on Saturday, and there was a huge shelf cloud moving into this area when we had that severe storm. Roll into Memphis, Tennessee. So definitely a site that we've already looked at in the very near past. And it looks like we got some birds flying by. And it's still pretty windy back over in northeast Arkansas. The snow and sleet should start to ramp up here over the next 30 minutes over here in northeast Arkansas. That's near Jonesboro. What do I have for Cincinnati? I don't think Cincinnati is going to see much snow. Thank you, Brittany, for becoming a member. Thank you, George, for the $10 super chat. This is what we're talking about in terms of snowfall accumulation over the next 48 hours. And again, our main swath of snow is going to be here in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. Back over in Cincinnati or anywhere in northern Kentucky, we're really only talking about 1 to 3 inches. If you're back over near Louisville, I would anticipate more like 2 to 4. Evansville will probably be right around 3 to 4 inches as well. Hopkinsville, right around 3 to 4 inches. I think just further back off to the west of Hopkinsville, we'll have a few areas near 6 to 7 inches of snowfall. And then our snowfall accumulation numbers kind of die down a bit further out here to the east, as the moisture content here will be lesser in general. And then we'll have another significant patch of snow back over near Charleston, West Virginia, and back into eastern Kentucky. And then approaching the coastline near Virginia Beach. Again, this is where we're expecting a significant patch of snow, upwards of 6 to 12 inches of snow in Virginia Beach, which could be challenging records back over in Virginia Beach for the highest amount of snow in a single day. It is possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but it is possible that we could see that back over in those areas. But for the time being, the majority of the heavy snowfall, again, is still across southwestern Missouri and also across northern Arkansas.
Westbound, that's why I'm just gonna go.
We'll go back over to Corey, who is currently on Highway 65. He's on the east side. He's in the east side of Springfield right now. And then Brandon Kopic is currently going towards I-44, going towards Brookline. Should start to see some more interesting stuff, I think, here over the next 20 minutes, because I think there's going to be a lot more stuff happening near Springfield.
Pretty mundane, honestly.
Hey, Phil, for the super chat. First time, long time. When would you expect it to really get bad in Raleigh, North Carolina tomorrow? The worst of it will probably be during the early to mid-afternoon hours as the winter storm amplifies again. So probably during the early to mid-afternoon. I think the morning will be okay. There will still be a little bit of snow out there, but it really ramps up after lunchtime. Will the liquor store still be open? Priority concerns here. Our biggest concerns are if a liquor store will be open. Thank you, Sarah, for the $10 super chat. 6-year-old William in Farmington, Arkansas, loves watching and says hi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, William. Thank you for the super chat. This is a blizzard. It's not a blizzard. There is a truck in front of Corey. I think it's a plow truck that is currently in front of Corey. So, that is what's kicking up all the snow. Kind of looks like I mean, this would be a blizzard if it wasn't for there being a truck there.
So they're starting to get closer to the low end of the forecast.
Hey, Tiffany, for the super chat. There's no reason to super chat, like, by any means. It's not required by any means, but I do appreciate the generosity.
Over halfway through the event, 5 inches. Wow. Incredible.
This is what Brandon's POV currently looks like. He is back over
New Orleans performed better than that.
on the southwest side of Springfield. He's on Highway 60, which is going more towards I-44 west of Springfield. Looks like a plow was there recently. It's a lot easier to drive with this one lane being plowed off. Highway 65, just on the east side of Springfield, is a bit of a different story. A little bit worse there. Thank you, Sherry, for becoming a member. Thank you, Chuck, for the super chat. If you're wondering about snowfall back over New Jersey, not going to see much unless you're back up in very far southern New Jersey. There will be a very small little clipping back over in Cape Cod that actually sees a few inches of snowfall, but it does not appear as if this will be a major winter storm for either New Jersey or even New England. Unless you're in, like, Nantucket or something like that off the shore there of Massachusetts. Oops. Oh, it looks like Brandon is... Yeah, that's what a truck does. Again, it's... makes the conditions look a whole lot worse when we got a truck on the road. Thank you, Kyle, for becoming a member, and thank you, Matthew, for 4 months. I don't know where that is, Matthew.
I should have brought a sled, that's right.
TDS, truck debris signature. I mean, in a winter storm, I guess that's what we could call a TDS. A truck debris signature. Right, picking up all the snow off the ground. Corey has a much worse POV. I mean, Corey is literally just driving through all snow on the east side of Springfield. This one plow truck in front of him just makes it look so much worse. Looks like it's taking up both lanes. It's kind of hard to see before. Brandon's on the west side of Springfield. He's on I-6, or he's on, sorry, not I keep saying I-60, Highway 60. He's going to be approaching I-44. Bottom right of your screen, that's Corey, and then this right here is Brandon. Is he gonna get on 13? What is 13? Is there a road called 13 around here? I don't know where exactly Corey is going. I'm not sure if he's going up I-44 to the east, or if he's gonna go more west. I know for a fact Brandon is going towards I-44, and I'm guessing he's gonna go west. I could be wrong, though. If he goes west, it'll probably be more interesting.
Man, we can see crap.
What is the practical use of having storm chasers in a snowfall situation? The biggest thing that you get out of seeing storm chasers out on the roadways is that it gives you a pretty good indication that you should not be traveling. If you watched even the first 30 minutes of the stream, there was literally 3 different cars that got stuck. So, you know, in my opinion, like, I think it's pretty vital to have chasers out there to be able to show you what's happening on the roadways and give you an idea of why you shouldn't be traveling. Because there are plenty of people that may have tuned into the stream and then saw what it looked like out there and said, oh, I'm not traveling, you know? It's kind of like the main reason. It's just like if there was a tornado warning, like, what's the practical reason for having a chaser? Well, if they're on a tornado warning, like, gotta see what's happening. You know, we gotta communicate the message that, hey, this might be dropping a tornado, and it gives you a better, you know, lead time also into confirming a tornado or not. So it's all kind of the same relative thing. But really, I mean, like, every time we've done a winter storm stream, I think, like, the biggest thing that we try to communicate is, like, don't be on the roadways today, it's too dangerous. You know, we've had this is our 4th winter storm stream, I think, this winter. A few of them were not straight up just winter storm coverage, but you know, this is only winter storm coverage. The Gulf Coast winter storm, that was only winter storm coverage. The winter storm that impacted Texas all the way through the Northeast, that was mostly just winter storm coverage. We didn't really do any severe weather coverage there. The only winter storm that was a mix of both winter storm and severe weather coverage was the one that happened on January 5th. And that was a moderate risk of severe weather, if I'm not mistaken, or an enhanced. Anything in Houston? Other than cold air, not really. Anything in Dallas? Freezing rain is the main concern for Dallas. Is this storm trending north? It's been mainly trending south throughout the day today. It has not really been trending to the north. All right, let's go back to here. One second, I gotta change over this to that. Burlington on the bottom left. Where are the chasers? Connor, bottom right of your screen, he is over in Joplin. And then you got Corey, who is on the east side of Springfield, and then Brandon, who is on I-44 going eastbound. So we'll go first to Corey. Actually, we'll go to Connor first. Connor's in Joplin. He is driving on the streets here. We'll see if he can see anything. I'm curious to see what Brandon and Corey's plan is, because I'm not sure if their plan is to currently go you know, back east towards like St. Louis, or if they're going to stay in the Springfield area.
As long as they're definitely putting in the work on the westbound side, it looks like traffic's starting to flow good, though.
As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We're about 250 subscribers away from 985,000. And we do weather forecasts and live streams all the time, so make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified with the latest updates as well. And like the stream as well if you have been enjoying the stream so far. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at MaxVelocityWX, and also, if you have any photos or videos, you can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Let me see if we have any other new photos coming in. If you have any photos or videos, you can send them to me on Twitter. This is from Sony Elliott back over in Mountain Home, Arkansas. So snow is falling. We got a little bit, about a coating of snow on the ground. It'll only stack up more here over the next few hours. And then, let's see. This is from Sky City. 14 inches of snowdrift in Joplin. So, obviously, for those that do snow measurements, make sure whenever you do a snow measurement that you're not measuring snowdrift. I know it's mentioned here, but if you're ever sending like a report to the National Weather Service, you're always going to want to make sure you're not measuring a snowdrift, because if you measure a snowdrift, it's just super inaccurate. So, this is pretty crazy, by the way. Let me put on weather alerts. This is crazy. Currently, the National Weather Service has extreme cold warnings that are in effect from the Canadian border all the way to the Mexico border. This is spanning across the entire Great Plains. These extreme cold warnings. This is a new addition, by the way. They used to be called advisories, different name, and now they're extreme cold warnings and watches. This is a huge area. I mean, we're talking about sub-zero wind chills in many of these areas tomorrow morning, in addition to below, zero temperatures, including areas, especially in the northern plains, where we could be as low as 30 degrees below zero. So, pretty crazy stuff. I mean, it's going to be, again, very, very, very cold as we go into tomorrow, and as well as Thursday, and even Friday. And again, we're going to have a video all talking about this tomorrow morning, about the record-breaking potential with this particular weather pattern. We're going to have record-breaking low temperatures both Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So we're going to have 3 straight days of record-breaking low temperatures. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Tomorrow's video is going to be pretty much solely based on the winter weather pattern that we're going to be dealing with.
Over the last 3 or 4 days,
that is going to lead to record-breaking low temperatures and even record-breaking low maximum temperatures, meaning that the high temperature is a low record. So, should be a pretty interesting video tomorrow. And some stuff that I haven't even showed you guys, like the actual places where we'll have record-breaking temperatures. I just haven't had time to put those in the last couple videos.
I mean, still
also, apologies for uploading today's video an hour late. Not mean to do that. I meant to publish it at like 6:30 a.m. and it came out at like 7:30. So,
a foot in
my apologies.
And stuff. It just, doesn't
it is what it is.
There in the type of systems we chase this year.
How do I send pictures? You can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. That's the best way to do it. You can always send them in to me on Facebook as well, which is also at MaxVelocityWX, but really the best way to do it is via Twitter. Again, this is live here in Joplin, Missouri. This is Storm Chaser Connor Croft. Thank you, Gene, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Will New York be getting snow due to lake effect? There will be some snow. It's not going to be much, but there will be maybe like a coating to a couple inches as we go into Thursday. I don't think New York City will be seeing much, though. Or was this just New York? Oh, this was just New York. New York will see lake effect snow. I'll pull up a map here in a second. I haven't really talked much about New York in these last few videos. I mean, like, the majority of this lake effect snow is going to be so localized. Most people in New York are just used to it at this point, but this is like the stretch of lake effect snow that we're going to see in New York tonight, tomorrow, and even into Thursday. Like 1 to 2 feet of snow in a very localized area there, along and just south of Lake Ontario. Just south of Watertown as well. And then if we go over to observe snowfall this year, I just want to go to the Northeast first. This is how much snow we've seen so far this year in the Northeast. This is pretty crazy. This area right here is over 100 inches of snow. Like, the scale isn't even large enough to pick up on how much snow has fallen here this year. Well over 120 inches of snow there near Watertown, New York, has already fallen this year. If we go to the entire country, it's kind of sad to look at this, but like, Louisiana, Florida, and Georgia have still seen more snowfall than most areas in Nebraska, South and North Dakota, and Iowa. That's just sad. It's kind of crazy to think. And we only have a few more weeks until, like, we are kind of winding down on these big winter storms. Like, we have March, obviously, but March doesn't usually provide that many shots for snow. It's pretty crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. My parents in New York have had 2 feet of snow over the last 3 days. I can't even imagine having an inch of snow over the span of a week. Part of my poster just fell down. Thank you, Scott, for the $10 super chat. Hi from North Dakota. La Nina winter weather at its best. It's too cold for snow up here. Yeah, it's pretty cold up there. Yeah, I mean, even like down here, it's like literally 2 degrees right now in Burlington, Kansas, and like it's snowing. It is just straight up snowing out here. Thank you, Majin, for the $5 super chat. How much could St. Louis get? St. Louis will be right around like 2 to 4 inches at most. Wouldn't even be surprised if like some of the northern suburbs there of St. Louis only saw like an inch at this rate. Thank you, Timothy, for the $15 PayPal donation. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you, Renee, for the $10 super chat. Carbondale is going to be right around 3 to 6 inches of snow. Carbondale, Illinois. Back over to Connor, who's hitting another red light in Joplin, Missouri. We'll go back to him in a second. Let's go over to Brandon Kopic. Oh, wait. I missed it. That car had some trouble getting out of the snow right there. I don't know if you guys saw that at the beginning. That car might have some problems ahead. We'll go back to Connor in a second. This is over to Brandon Kopic, who is live on Radar Omega and also on YouTube. He is traveling east on I-44, just north of Springfield. And so far, not too shabby here.
You'll see it when you get past it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of vehicles.
Looks like maybe something up ahead there on the left, though.
Okay, I'm just kind of rounding that corner now where it goes.
That's crazy real. Appreciate the super chat. Blizzard since Friday, and in a state of emergency, no classes all week so far. There's actually a cop going the wrong way on the other side of the highway. I'm guessing that highway is closed. I'm guessing westbound on I-44 is still closed near Springfield.
That's for sure.
Cops going the other way. Hey, Maximus for the super chat from DFW Metro. I'm just thinking freezing rain and maybe ice accumulation. That is correct. Is really the only concern right now over there. There's another cop car on the left. I think they're going the wrong way, right? That's the wrong way on the highway. Unless that's a service road, which I don't think it is. It's hard to tell when it's all snowed over.
Stop off, get a snack.
Connor has a truck in front of him that is flying up the hill and down the hill. Thank you, Kyle, for the $10 super chat. Knott's Island, North Carolina. I would put you right around 4 to 8 inches of snow. Again, it's going to be a very sharp divide, though, between you seeing, like, nothing to up to, like, 10 inches. It's a very sharp divide there in northern North Carolina. Realistically, the range that I would anticipate is 4 to 8 inches. At least that's what you should be preparing for in that area. Hey, Nathaniel, for the super chat. Per Springfield, Missouri, PD westbound I-44 is closed at I-65 due to accidents. Makes sense. We've had a few already on the Missouri dot cameras that we've looked at.
See what those look like.
I'm gonna see if there's any that we can see on here.
Oh, nice. This neighborhood road is cooked.
I'm not sure the closure is going to last that much longer. It might. I don't really know. I have no clue how long these closures will actually last. But I haven't seen an actual accident in a little while, like on one of the cameras.
Ooh, nice little hill.
The only place where there are still known accidents, at least according to MDOT or Missouri Dot, is back over just south of Jasper.
Ooh, down this one.
Like right along the Kansas and Missouri border.
Stop though. Thank you for the super
Hey
chat.
Sandy for the generous $20 super chat. How about Fort Smith, Arkansas? We're always on the edge of not getting much snow as northwestern Arkansas. Fort Smith will mainly be freezing rain. Like right now it's freezing rain. There will be a transition to snow here. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot though. I think it'll be like a coating to a couple inches. Let me double check and see if the forecast guidance is the same. If I had to guess, it's probably be around a coating to a couple inches there. And we've also had a lot more dry air over the last few hours in the middle of the atmosphere near Tulsa, for example. That has limited the amount of snowfall even in Tulsa. So if I had to guess, the snowfall accumulation numbers will be much lower back near Fort Smith. And the forecast guidance is in that same ballpark. Like, this is between now all the way through tomorrow morning. Right around a coating to a couple inches there near Fort Smith. So, nothing really that exciting if you want snowfall, but it is what it is. Back over to Connor again in downtown Joplin right now.
I don't have to... Jupe10, I don't have to sugar on me, bro.
Hey, Timothy, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. We are now 140 subscribers away from 985,000. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified as well with the latest updates.
You mean like Highway 65 or like mile marker 65? I'm guessing Highway 65.
You can barely recognize the streets. It's hard to tell where we're even at anymore when we look at this, because all the roads are for the most part covered over. Hey, thank you, Jay, for the $20 super chat. I don't think I've gotten anything. I'll check, though.
With how that pile up is. Okay. Now let's go down the left lane past that accident a minute ago.
Nice.
Give me 1 second and I'll check. Appreciate the generous $20 super chat.
Nice
I'm trying
drift.
to find another way to get over there if I can, but it's hard because of that accident. So if you see, or if you stop there, let me know.
Connor is going up plenty of hills here in Joplin.
This is why there's no people stuck, because...
But it's right where the on-ramp
Oh my goodness.
southbound starts.
This is a neighborhood you wouldn't want to live in during an ice storm. Just be slipping and sliding everywhere if you traveled. Jay, it looks like I did, so I will get that as soon as possible, but I don't have it right now.
This 5 to 6, 4 to 5
I can unfortunately not open it today.
Problems, because it's just light, fluffy powder.
Hey, Nathaniel, for the $10 super chat, doing a virtual
Light,
storm spotter course held by the St. Louis National Weather Service tonight. That's awesome. Hope you learned some good information out of that. Zachary asks, how much snow will Ashburn, Virginia see? Ashburn, yeah, you're not going to see anything really more than like a coating to maybe an inch. Unfortunately, there was a lot of hype a few days ago about a big winter storm on the East Coast, and I mean, we talked about it in our videos and stuff, and you know, a few days ago we were saying, like, I think this is probably going to change. Like, we don't exactly know what's going to happen. There were a lot of people putting out graphics showing like 12 to 16 inches of snow in a huge area along the East Coast, and I knew it was going to downtrend. I mean, almost every winter storm that we've ever seen along the East Coast, this winter or any other winter recently, has always downtrended, and this one was no exception, so... It's still going to be significant for some areas, but it's much more localized than
Stop, too. Just me.
what some people were portraying.
Appreciate the super chat.
Thank you, S, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Crazy, as well, for the $10 super chat. I'm a truck driver in Tennessee. What is the middle of Tennessee looking like tomorrow? It's going to be snowing up until around or just after lunchtime. We're talking like 1 to 3 inches around Nashville. Thank you, Corey, for the super chat as well.
If I'm gonna drive around out here, I might as well have.
All right, let me see if we have any more photos coming in on Twitter. If you have any photos or videos, you can at me on Twitter.
That's slick.
This is Dejia, I think if I'm saying the name right, back over in central east Oklahoma. A little bit of freezing rain, but fortunately not too much. Well, that's good. Looks like we got a little bit of about a coating of snow on the ground here, central Oklahoma. And then let's see. I think that's the only one for now. Yep, that is the only photo for now that I'm seeing. Looks like Brandon Kopic is now off the highway. Let's see what he's looking at.
Cars wrecked, he smashed
Impacted into the rock.
Here's Brandon Kopic. He's live on Radar Omega and on YouTube, just north of Springfield.
Oh god, yeah, he's it didn't really when you if you look back at it, he's like in the rock. He got really unlucky.
We are now 65 subscribers from 985,000.
South and get on 44 and go back east.
Sorry, Daisha, thank you. Sorry about that. I'm terrible with names. Names in general. It doesn't matter what name it is. It could be a town name. It could be a person's name. It's terrible. Sorry about that. Saw some post about tornadoes in Florida. Any update on that? Let me check the radar and see if anything's happening. Nothing right now, just some elevated storms. No, it is funny. If you look at this storm just west of Miami, this storm right here actually did have at least a little bit of wind. It didn't really have a lot of rotation. But nonetheless, like, there's still a chance for a brief spin up or maybe a water spout here over the next couple of hours. There was no risk outlined by the Storm Prediction Center for what it's worth. But I did point it out because, I mean, the environment there, if there was any sort of, like, if there was more lift, essentially, and we actually had more moisture in the mid-levels, I think there actually would be a slightly better chance for a tornado. But it was just kind of something I pointed out because, I mean, you know, I have seen events like that take place, and I don't call them out on Twitter or something like that beforehand. Hey, Stevia, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. Appreciate that. That is the highest tier membership on the channel. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you, Dan, for the super chat. What's Central Massachusetts look like? Nothing more than a coating, really, for most of Central Mass. What do you predict for snowfall in Jackson, Tennessee? Jackson is going to be in that, like, 2 to 4 inch range. A couple isolated locations around you could be up to 5 or 6. Looks like Corey is clearing off his windshield. Or, sorry, not Corey. That was Brandon. Let's go to Corey, though. Corey is now on the east side of Springfield. Just got off the Interstate 44. Near Stratford, Missouri.
Abby, how you doing? We got a whopping 6 degrees here, just east. Or actually, we're in Stafford, Missouri. We're just east of Springfield, northeast.
Anybody having hot chocolate today in the chat? I'm curious.
Man, I have not.
Anybody out there having some hot chocolate? Staying warm with the hot chocolate? Maybe that or coffee. Ghirardelli hot chocolate? That sounds good. Ghirardelli hot chocolate goes crazy. Just chocolate pieces.
Yeah, Daniel, is this
4th
on?
cup? No way we're having 4 hot chocolates in a single day. Irish hot coffee. Or sorry, hot chocolate. Already drank 2. Somebody said beer. Somebody's having beer out here. We are now 2 away from 15,000 away. 1 away. We're about to be 15,000 subscribers away from 1 million. And we are now 15,000 subscribers away from 1 million. Actually insane. Looks like Corey is back on the interstate. Go back over to Brandon.
That band is just
Brandon is on some side roads here, just north of Springfield. Little community called Roseville. I think he might be getting back on the highway, though. Can't wait to hear you sing once you hit 1 million. I'm not singing. Thank you, D's, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Welcome to the Velocities. Back over to Corey here. Corey is traveling east on I-44. He is just to the east now of Springfield, going towards Marshfield, Missouri. The snow drifting continues to get a little bit worse here as we continue to go throughout the stream. It's not really too bad, but you can definitely see the snow drifting all around, especially with all the cars moving. It's very fluffy snow. Again, we are talking about temperatures in the single digits and teens, which all this snow is fluffy, so it's easier to just blow around. Thank you, Nathaniel, for the super chat. About 15 to 20 minutes ago, eastbound I-44 is forced to exit at North Kansas Expressway, which is exit 77. Thank you for the report. I need to put hot cocoa in the crock pot for tomorrow. How does that even work? Is that even a thing?
Uranus is right on the road.
What should I have for dinner? I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Maybe some vodka pasta. Cheese Curd's been sleeping like this entire stream. I kid you not, she's been asleep for not 2 hours, but about 1 hour and 45 minutes of the 2 hours that we've been live. She's just been sleeping on the cat tower.
Man, run, man. Not to get you fired up, but man, I had to.
I wish I had a cat cam, but I don't. I don't really have it set up. See if I can try to set it up without her waking up. I have a camera. I just don't know if I can get it over there without her waking up. I also don't know if it'll even look at her. I think it's too far off. Oh, she woke up. I knew that was gonna happen.
jerky everywhere you go.
She's
What's the
back to
best
sleep.
beef jerky?
Trying to maneuver this right now.
I mean, it's a toss-up. It's jerky and I think Casey's has that hard times or whatever.
Doesn't really get her in the pick shot
It's a
though.
hard up between those two.
I figured they just like giving each other beef jerky.
Specifically Uranus beef jerky.
Is cheese curd nocturnal?
Uranus.
It's a good question.
Well, it looks like the snow's probably going to keep up a good chunk of the way up 44 by the looks of it. There we go. Thank you again, Jeff, for your PayPal donation. Thank you guys all so much for your continued support.
All right, I'm trying to make this work. Give me a second.
The right lane is pretty clear. Left lane's just like, you know, this ain't too bad. I think the dry air is like really kicking in now.
Cheese curd is right there. I'm gonna turn off the light so you can actually see her. There's cheese curd. She is just sleeping. She is sound asleep. Bottom right of your screen.
I totally and 110% think that it's Cheesecake's fault.
How's it going?
Oh yeah, it's always Cheesecake's fault.
See if I can,
Everyone knows you shouldn't mix cheesecake and chicken.
Wait, what? I must have missed what happened before, because all I hear on the radio is it's always Cheesecake's fault.
Poor Connor is the victim.
Your fault for the dry air taking over.
seems very disturbed.
For what I did, but I'm sorry because this is abysmal.
This is abysmal. He said it.
You would blame Meatars, but he's not out here. Meatar would find a way to...
Shout out, by the way, to the person that mailed me these toys. Give me 1 second. Let me get the box.
We need Meatar's optimism right now.
Somebody fan mailed me a cheese curd basket of like different like toys and stuff. They also had these like cat treats in it as well.
So there's some optimism.
I don't know if the like there was like a name in here, but I wasn't sure if it was the actual name of the person that gave it to me. But huge shout out to the person that sent that.
5 degrees outside, freaking mid-60 dew points, you know, like Saturday.
This card's not letting go. Hey, Brian and Christopher for becoming members. Welcome to the Velocities. In addition to Sherry. And thank you, Eric, for the super chat. Everyone from Springfield, Missouri got off work early, loving this weather coverage. I appreciate that. Thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Cheese Card's doing fine and well. She's just chilling.
5,000, so thank you so much for hitting that like and subscribe button.
It was the whole trip as a whole was just a huge waste.
That trip as a whole was very frustrating.
She's gonna scratch you. You know, I had to cut her nails the other day, like for the first time, because they were getting way too sharp, and that was a pain. I actually, believe it or not, actually see I got like a giant scratch on my arm. But I mean, it wasn't that bad when it happened. But other than that, it was fine. She was pretty chill with it. It was quite the experience, I gotta say. Looks painful. It's not painful, trust me. It was not painful when it happened either. You might think it was painful, but it actually wasn't. I didn't really notice until like after the fact.
I feel like it's a good thing we missed the summit, because some of the things I heard, I would have come unglued.
You know, it's been notified and do you have any proof?
Yeah, I've heard some interesting things.
You dropped the toy.
You know, the National Weather Team or whatever had some kind of fallout to it or something, and no details or anything in the post.
I've heard nothing about the summit, so I do not know what anyone's referencing here.
All right, let's get back to weather. Let's go back to the 3-cam overlay. Actually, let's go back to we'll go back to Connor. He's driving through the city right now. He's still in Joplin. Cat is mad. Nah, she's chill. She might want to sleep, but it's fine.
I find it hilarious that they get pissed off at Reed for not coming to the summit when they don't give Reed any credit or recognition at the summit anyway. So like you depend on Reed for your event, but at the same time you give Reed no respect at your event. So I just think the whole thing is kind of weird.
Yeah, that whole thing is a joke. I mean, I don't know why I bought a ticket, because I didn't really want to go.
Your light is off? It sure is.
So I just think things happen for a reason. That's why we didn't make it there. Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Why does your cat look like she's mad? I have no clue. It's kind of like just how she acts. She's fine.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, there's a reason we didn't make it.
Actually, let's go back to Brandon. Brandon is currently seeing some snow drifts. Some blowing snow back over east of Springfield. On the bottom of your screen, you can see it quite a bit right now. It's kind of along the road. Again, if there was more snow on the ground, it'd be much worse than this, but all that powdery snow is just blowing across the roadways, even with the lightest bit of wind. Could see some much lower visibility tonight as the wind continues to increase, which could again lead to some blizzard-like conditions. Thank you, Linnea, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities.
I'm trying to save the environment from all the hot air coming from your head.
Back to Connor here.
You know, I've got some really good comebacks to this, and I'm probably going to have to write them down because they're too funny not to tell. But if I tell them, oh my god, people would throw a fit on Twitter, holy hell. You probably know where I'm going with this.
That and the Redman farts definitely warming up the atmosphere. I was gonna say I'm kind of on a roll right now. I think
there's been a more than 54-degree drop over the last 24 hours in the Texas Panhandle. That's crazy.
I'm happy for you, Brandon.
Yeah, chat, they call me cheese.
These conditions are definitely getting like blizzard-like out here.
They call me Cheesecake because I went to New York during a lake effect chase, and I met these really cool people who owned a cheesecake shop, and they gave me free cheesecake, so that's why they call me Cheesecake.
I thought this was going to be almost blizzard criteria, so I made my title like near blizzard conditions. And because I pushed it through research,
we haven't had a single car stuck either on Connor's, Brandon's, or Corey's POVs since about almost 2 hours ago. It's pretty crazy.
Before I'm a liar, but it is definitely blowing like hell out here now. Is he behind the snowplow?
Thank you, Max. The super chat.
Pretty sure I saw a few.
Appreciate it.
Just a little bit ago, but it's calming down a little bit over here right now, kind of in a gap, I think. But more lizards to come, probably.
Love listening to Chasers' conversations. They are very interesting. I have a whole radio thing with them, and very interesting conversations across the board. Especially when none of us are alive.
Just straight up blizzard conditions, and visibility's been under a quarter of a mile for maybe a total of 20 minutes of my stream, so.
54-degree drop, that is exactly what I said. A 54-degree temperature difference in 24 hours.
The heaviest snow I've seen all day was in Branson.
The snow is beginning to move into Tennessee right now. We actually have a little bit of moderate snowfall just north of Dyersburg, which is an area that was under a tornado warning literally just 2 days or a few days ago, back on Saturday. A little bit of light snow falling in Dyersburg right now. The heavier band is off to your north. And then in Kenton, Tennessee, no snow falling yet, but you're about to see snow in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Union City, Tennessee. We got birds flying all over the place. They might be migrating back to the north, or actually, not north, to the south, I mean, because of the snow and the cold weather. Stoddard County in southeast. Oh, there's another. Look at that, another migrating area of birds. We've seen a lot of birds here in southeast Missouri and western Tennessee. A whole flock of birds there. But coating up to almost an inch of snow now here in southeast Missouri. They said we are going back to the north, but now we are going back to the south because of all the snow. These are all the, again, radar Omega cyclone ports. More snow on the ground here as well in Stoddard County. Had a coating to an inch of snow already here. And again, it's only been about an hour since it started snowing. This is Neelyville, Missouri as well. Definitely had a coating. Probably going to be closing in on about a half an inch here pretty soon. And then the Memphis area, it is beginning to snow here as well. It's a mix of rain and snow in Memphis. We had a big severe storm here on Saturday, and it's now snowing. Go figure. Right there in Memphis, Tennessee. Jonesboro as well, or near Jonesboro, Arkansas, is snowing a little bit there as well. Some more birds that are flying around. This camera is entirely iced over. And then Burlington, Kansas is beginning to wind down, but it is still snowing there right now. And the majority of the snow in Kansas is beginning to move out. And we'll be dealing with just straight up cold weather here for the next few days. A little bit of ice accumulation still happening in Oklahoma, and we are going to be seeing here over the next hour or two a increase of freezing rain across North Texas and southern Oklahoma. I would not anticipate this to really ramp up until about 7 tonight, so about an hour and a half from now, but even then, be very mindful on the roadways if you're down here in the southern plains. Conditions will deteriorate very quickly. Got a few heavy bands of snow as well moving across southwestern Missouri near West Plains, Springfield, Lebanon, and also west of Jefferson City. St. Louis is still very quiet right now. Very, very light snowfall, mainly just flurries in that area. Paducah, Kentucky is going to be really talking about a lot more snowfall now. So it looks like just west of Paducah and Massac. Snow is definitely picking up. This did not look anything like this only about half an hour ago. And it looks like some Superman guy is sticking out of a building there. But, yeah, overall, snow is definitely picking up here near Paducah. Definitely some heavier bands of snowfall. All this dark blue is moving towards Carbondale, Cape Girardeau. Had somebody say in the chat about 2 inches of snow fell already in Cape Girardeau. So, definitely so far performing a little bit above what we were expecting. We still got probably another 3 to 4 inches to come in Cape Girardeau at least. I think if anything, Cape Girardeau will get near like 6 to 8 inches of snowfall. I mean, the National Weather Service forecast is right around 7 to 8 inches of snow there in Cape Girardeau, so Carbondale's right around 5. Springfield at 10. Joplin at 9. Those were kind of like the general numbers coming into today. A little bit higher, actually. This is not including what has already fallen. But if we included what already fell, it'd be about 2-3 inches higher in most of those areas. Memphis is going to probably have about 2 inches of snow on the ground by tonight. Or not by tonight, by tomorrow morning. Show the projection for Kentucky. Yeah, unfortunately, Kentucky is going to see additional liquid precipitation. This is, in terms of snowfall, this is how much we're expecting for snow, which will, you know, if it melts, it'll lead to literally, you know, water, which is not what we need in Kentucky right now. But a widespread area between 3 to 6 inches of snowfall, mainly from western Kentucky all the way back through the Pikeville area of Kentucky and also into West Virginia. Tennessee is very split. I think this will be slightly further to the south, honestly. So, like, Nashville might be at, like, an inch higher. Current thinking is, like, the Nashville area, right around 1 to 3 inches of snow. I think that's probably an appropriate forecast. Back over near, like, Chattanooga, right along the border, a coating to an inch or 2 is what I'll be anticipating. And then, again, I think this 1 to 2, like this 2-inch line, which is the light blue, I think it'll end up being a little bit further down to the south. I could see it going kind of like down into here. Not a significant shift, but just enough there to see a bit more accumulation just out there of Nashville near Murfreesboro, for example. With the current trends, at least, that we're seeing, I think there'll be slightly more snowfall over there. And then the Appalachian Mountains, obviously, seeing a lot more. Thank you, Max, for the 5-month membership.
More to this story that I'm
Back
not
to Connor, who's in downtown Joplin.
What was that town name?
North Texas isn't going to see snow, but you will see some freezing rain that leads to ice accumulation.
I don't know what that means, but I'm not Googling it.
Not everybody will, but some people will.
I explicitly remember that day because I remember it was that the sway bar linkage was like rubbing on something, and we just decided.
About 30 to 40% of you guys will see ice accumulation up there.
Smoked it with a hammer, and then when I went to go get new tires at Walmart, they
I don't
called
see any
me. They're
donuts.
like, "This is an emergency. Like, we need you to come talk to us right now."
The storm ruined my plans for a Joplin day.
Like,
Sorry to hear.
part of your car that's missing. It's very important
Fortunately,
to your,
weather can be
to the suspension of your
unpredictable
vehicle. I was
far
like,
out
is it the
or
sway
long-term
bar
in advance.
linkage? Yeah, I took that thing off like 6 months ago.
Now drinking hot chocolate with
About this,
Irish
and I was
cream.
like, oh, yeah,
Thanks
I
for the
deleted
awesome
that
idea.
part a
That sounds
while
pretty
ago.
good.
They're like, all right, well, we had to make sure you knew about it.
Hold on, did you just say jack the car up or jack the car off?
As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to
Because you said it,
subscribe
that's
to the
probably
channel.
smart.
We are a little under 15,000 subscribers from 1 million. And then also make sure to like the stream if you've been enjoying it so far. We're about 2,400 likes away from 10,000.
Thinking about right now, but I'd save it for the hotel.
Don't forget to click the bell icon down below so you're notified with the latest video updates and live streams. We will have a video tomorrow morning
Not even kidding.
I don't see anybody doing
talking
donuts, Chad.
more about the record-breaking temperature trend that we're going to have over the next few days.
Was that the same day that we had to like go get another adapter for the battery that we put in the trunk of my car?
How are the highways? I-44 is pretty bad. That's like the biggest issue is I-44 right now.
I don't... Battery in the back. Was that for the winch?
I don't know if it was for the winch or if we made it like an auxiliary battery or what. But I do recall it was my old Explorer that was just beat to all crap. It was that gray one that's sitting at the warehouse now.
Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. I'll be posting photos and videos and weather forecast updates there.
Some crap like that.
No donuts anywhere.
Been posting tons of updates on those platforms about various things like the winter storm and all that. Definitely recommend you check out those platforms. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram. We are on Instagram now. MaxVelocityWX. And as well as on TikTok.
An hour away from the day before or something. Like, it was kind of, I think it was even a margin. Like, we were
There's
just
a piece
down
of a
there.
car right
But
here.
I do specifically remember something else stupid going on. I just don't remember what it was. But yeah, like that was the day that I thought we were gonna die and get struck by lightning.
It was a
Or
random,
eaten by an alligator.
a random
One of the
piece.
two.
It was a random,
I remember the day that
Hey, Linda, for the super chat. Another super chat for you to get to pronounce Cape Girardeau as Cape
there's
Girardeau.
a piece of a car sitting.
All right. Thank you.
That's, Nanny, when we were talking
Appreciate the
about
super
being
chat.
at home, I was talking about the severe weather setup, not this. We were talking about the severe weather setup on Saturday.
Pronunciations are our favorite thing here on
Don't get
this
me wrong,
channel.
The snowstorm is not as significant as it's supposed to be, but having more fun changing
Girardeau?
this than the severe weather setup that busted.
It looks like such a
fancy
fancy name. Why can't it be like Girardeau or something?
Pieces. I don't know. It was a piece of their bumper or what. All right, we're taking a mall tour. We're taking a mall tour, I guess, chat. All the way around. It's an absolutely massive mall.
We're at a Sears. Are Sears still in business? A Sears here in Joplin.
Okay. There's a movie theater over there. Otherwise, I think we made
Not
it all
many.
the way around.
Yeah, I don't remember there being very many Sears left.
I think
Like
we
most
made
of them
it all the
closed.
way around. Like I said, I've been to
thought
that
most
Best
of them
Buy
closed
a
at
couple
least.
times, just because I was in the area and I needed stuff from Best Buy. But
Saw Sears somewhere in Nashville, but that may have been a while ago. Probably was. All right, guys. Well, I wasn't planning on being live a very long time today. I was only planning on being live for like an hour or two, and it's been 2.5 hours, but it's been a good stream. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm getting hungry, and I think we've kind of communicated the message here in this live stream that it's probably a good idea to stay home today. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the coverage. Again, I don't usually do short streams like this anymore, but it was kind of like a chill, relaxing stream. If you are wondering about your location in terms of how much snow to expect, I do recommend watching my video from earlier this morning. Has all the details for you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're new here. Click the bell icon so you're notified with the latest updates. We are going to raid Corey Gherkin, who is currently chasing out here, so you can get some more, in-depth viewing here of this winter storm with Corey Gherkin's feed. Thank you, HM, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member on the way out. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Velocities. If you are new here, also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. Join our Discord server. The link is in the description below. Once again, when we hit 1 million subscribers, or right around when we hit it, we'll be doing a 1 million subscriber live stream. Members only on this channel. If you want to subscribe to my second channel, that is More Max Velocity, we'll be doing it to both channels. So we'll be live on both of them with a 1 million subscriber special, as long as I'm actually able to go live for it, which I assume I will be able to. So if I'm able to, I'll have a live stream for members only, and then also on our second channel for free viewing to the public if you want to see that. I'm not doing it on the main channel because otherwise I think it would just be kind of like, it would just be, it's just not a weather event, so I'm not going to do that on the main channel. But otherwise, I appreciate you guys all watching today. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here, like the stream. Go ahead and put raid Max Velocity or something in Corey's chat. And we'll see you guys all again in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a safe and warm rest of your night. And we'll see you guys all again tomorrow morning in our video.